I'm not ready to go yet, okay? I'm not ready. You gotta wait. I got shit to do. I'm in the middle of something, all right? Just hold on.
Watch your mouth or don't come in here.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah, people, come on, we're adults here.
You know what? What is the point?
Yeah, we're adults here. I got a fucking Burger King fucking thing on my head. We're all fucking adults here, guys. People in my chat, 2 words. What are they? 2 words. Let me see the chat flood. Let me see the chat flood. 2 words. Okay, next caller. Please. Let's get into the meat and potatoes, which translate in American to dick and balls.
I got flip-flops. These are my flip-flops. Yeah, I really like my flip-flops because I can put them on. Because look, watch me put them on. I can put them on all by myself. Watch me put them on. Look, are you watching? Look, these are my flip-flops.
Thanksgiving Day. I remember it clearly. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was inserting myself in somebody else's fucking business as a cash grab, and you know.
This channel is harsh reality.
Kareniak se jodió la sucia vida. Amen.
This is Jonathan Lee Riches. I have cheeseburgers. I'm gonna put cheese on them. I'm gonna make sure that I have my hamburgers because I'm a big boy now and I can make the hamburgers. My mom lets me use the stove now.
And I'm just like, wow, I like receipts, and they brought receipts. Like they had evidence to back up everything they said. And I'm like, okay, well, there's got to be another side to this, right? Like this can't. No, this is too fantastic.
Yeah, because you're not going to just jump to the conclusion that there's a conspiracy amongst cops to cover up a murder. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, cops and just like soccer moms and shit. Like that's what made it even crazier. Like,
yeah, get it, Betty. Yeah,
did you have a close relationship with your mom?
Get it, Betty.
Oh, of course, I still do.
Yeah.
My older sister was kind of sad. She was more of the prissy girl that like going
That is
and
the
getting her
best
done.
shit fucking
Shopping for
ever.
dresses with mommy. I was the tomboy that liked playing with.
Shout out to Cherry for just being just easily the most faithful and loyal supporter that I've ever had. That someone could have that tenacity with loyalty. And I'm really blessed to have someone like Cherry be part of this channel and in my life. So it means a lot. And yes, I named him after Mr. T and Rocky. Say, woman. Say, woman. Say, woman. Since your old man ain't got no heart, why don't you come down to my apartment tonight and I'll show you a real man. Oh my God, I'm so in love with this little dude. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this one up. I love you guys very, 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 very much. And we will do this again very soon, my friends. Oh, say bye. Say bye. Oh, I love you too. Give me a kiss. Oh, I love you. Bye, guys. Woo! Good evening. Happy 4th of July, my friends. Oh man. Dude, we gotta do something here. We gotta take a second here, folks. Okay? We just gotta take a second here, folks. Just for a second. Just for a second. It doesn't feel right to not do this. This is part of the reason I was having technical difficulties. I was trying to download something, and then now I have to fucking stream it. So okay. Okay. Just had to be done. Happy 4th of July, happy America's birthday. And thanks for being here. I don't expect a whole lot of people being in here because I mean, imagine there's a lot of people watching fireworks, setting fireworks, barbecuing, having a good time. I know that Aiden and Meredith were having a good time today. Listen, this is what we're gonna do today, folks. All right. Last night, after the epic, amazing live stream that TurtleBoy had on Runkle of the Bailey, Runks as I like to call him, absolutely fantastic stream that was. So I was so excited from it that, I thought I'll just do a hangout live, but I was also tired, but overtired and cranky. And so, so it was just kind of just a whatever, just kind of a bullshit little hangout thing that we did last night. But what we did though, we were on to something because I think tonight's going to go even better though. Because we were on to something. Thank you, Donna. Thank you so much. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh. So, yeah, I'm really glad to be hanging out with you guys today. Because, yeah, man, today's America's birthday. And and it's cool in the background. I can kind of hear the fireworks. But see, the thing is, I'm a little bitter because I'm laid up like a fucking gimp, like a fucking pathetic, disgraced fucking red coat fucking loser. All fucking gimpy and shit. While everybody else is like celebrating one of my favorite holidays. So I'm a little bitter about it, but I'm glad everybody's having a good time though. I really am. But I'm grateful for those of you who are hanging out in here with me. Because it's just the second best thing that I would rather be doing on 4th of July. Scooter 54, thank you so much. Happy 4th of July to you too. So yesterday what we did this thing where we cast the Karen Reed movie. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. All right, you're gonna see me get kind of annoyed from time to time with some of you in the chat, because the only way to do this and to do this together is everybody's going to be throwing names out there. Okay. Now, I really like to think about stuff like this. I love movies so much. I'm not going to go into the whole explanation like I did yesterday, but I love movies. I always have. And certain scenarios, certain things that have happened, like if I read a book, I will think of it as a movie, and I will imagine what it's like, who would be cast, who would be the best person cast in that role. And it never works out the way that I imagine, like Da Vinci Code, for instance. I don't even remember who I imagined for that role. But Tom Hanks as the lead guy was definitely not on my bingo card. Not at all. So but I like to do these things, and I've never been so close and so knowledgeable about a situation that they're making 2 movies about that we know of. Okay. Now, I hate to be that guy, but I'm a realist as well. I'm a realist here. And understand something. I'll tell you guys, for those of you who weren't here last night when I was telling this story, don't be shocked if either or both of these movies don't get made. Don't be shocked. Now, I don't think that'll be the case here. I don't believe that. But it does happen. Like, I'll give you guys an example. When I first started as a YouTuber, I was streaming out of my bedroom, and I first started as a YouTuber. I reached out to Colton Harris Moore. I was doing I was just talking about him as content, and discussing his case as content, because I found his case fascinating. And then I reached out to the guy because I found that he had a YouTube channel where he would just have airplanes. He would just film airplanes taking off at the airport. He was fascinated with airplanes. Cole Harris Moore, if you don't know, was known in the press in the early 2000s, early to mid 2000s, I think, as the Barefoot Bandit. And between the ages of like 15 and 19, I believe they were. It's been a long time since I looked into it. 15 and 19. He broke into people's houses, but the story is he would break into people's houses and he would eat their food, and he would sometimes steal their car, but he would like clean up after himself. But he eluded the FBI for years, and he just kind of hid out in the woods in the outer parts of Seattle. Very interesting. And it wasn't until he was 19 that he was in the Bahamas. Now, before he got caught in the Bahamas when he was 19, he had already stolen like 5 airplanes, I think 2 boats, a couple of cars. I can't remember exactly what it was. And I talked to this guy. 3 times, 3 separate times, like 3 hours each time. And he didn't do any press at all. And when he got caught when he was 19, he went to prison, and he sold the rights to his story to 20th Century Fox. And he hired an entertainment lawyer and everything, You know, this is a kid who's not even 21 yet when he does this, I think. And he hires an entertainment lawyer and sells his story to 20th Century Fox for, I think, something like $3 million. It was an unheard of amount of money for someone to sell their story. Like, he negotiated as high and as shrewdly as he possibly could. And like the whole time he was in prison, he just educated himself. Like, this is a guy who taught himself how to fly airplanes by stealing them and eluded the FBI. Think about that shit. Just try to imagine being that fucking level. You know what I'm saying? So, and he hates being praised for it. You know, and he gets praised for it, and he gets, in the media, everyone was talking about it. He was basically a Robin Hood type. Everyone was talking about him. He was an internet sensation. And like, if you go and look at my video, like, read the comments, people are like, fucking legend, and he hates that shit. And he's in hiding. Like, he's not a fugitive or anything, but he's just a hermit. He doesn't like public attention at all. And I was the only person that he fucking talked to. He wouldn't talk to the media, and all the media wanted to talk to him. And so, and I mean, not bad for somebody who's not a journalist, right? So we end up talking or whatever, but he tells me that he sold the story to 20th Century Fox. He sold the rights to his story to 20th Century Fox for what am I talking about? For $3 million, which was at the time the highest. It was unheard of. And so he then, of course, Jenny Durkin, who was the DA at the time and is now the mayor, of course, she ends up making this press conference saying, no, that money is to be donated. But the thing is he had that intention in the first place. The whole point was for him to negotiate the highest amount of money so he could pay back at least some of the damages to his victims that he caused, people that he stole from. This is a guy who basically could have gone who knows how long without getting caught. If you pay attention to his story, it seems like he almost wanted to get caught. He was tired. He was over it. And so they end up making this, and I apologize to those of you who are listening to this last night already, but they end up planning this whole thing. Colton meets with the guy who wrote Milk and won best screenplay that year for that movie, right? Like, he wrote the movie for about Harvey Milk, a bunch of other ones too. I forget the guy's name. There we go. 2008. And yeah, the screenplay is Gus Van Sant and Dustin Lawrence Black. So Gus Van Sant directed it. Now, Gus Van Sant directed Good Will Hunting as well. Okay. And they won best screenplay that year. And Robert Zemeckis was supposed to be on to direct it. Robert Zemeckis directed the Forrest Gump, Back to the Future trilogy. I mean, so an Oscar-winning director too. Legendary, right? Movie just never got made. Who knows how much money they paid for Robert Zemeckis' time and how much money they paid for Gus Van Sant's time and the other guy's time, Dustin's time. Who knows? but at least $3 million to Colton Harris Moore's victims. And they never even made the movie. Like, Hollywood has that kind of, they can do that. So they could just shit can something. You know what I mean? For whatever reason. Now the movie could still get made. You know what I mean? The movie could still get made. The movie of Colton Harris Moore's story could still get made, but we'll never know. I mean, unless it gets made. But it happens. Now, keeping that in mind, this is still going to be a fun thing to do because as we understand it, as I understand it, there are big name actors who are coming forward who want to be part of this project. So I'm imagining, even if this movie doesn't get a massive, huge studio budget, which I imagine it's going to get a pretty big one, but even if it doesn't get a massive, huge studio budget, this is the kind of story that actors want to be a part of. This is the kind of story that wins actors performance awards and recognition, because this story, the TurtleBoy story, is fucking crazy. And the thing is the Karen Reed story, we're going to do what we did with the Karen Reed thing last night. What we're going to do is hypothetically write a synopsis, right, of how we imagine this movie is going to be, more or less, right? Probably is not going to be anything like it in reality, but what we're going to do is use our imaginations here, and we're going to an Oscar bait film for sure. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of we're going to use our imaginations, and we're not going to squander our imaginations, because the cool thing about this is it's completely hypothetical, and we know this story so well. And what we're going to do is we're going to start naming characters, people that are going to be involved in this movie. Now, this is the fun thing about this, is I think that the Karen Reed movie, if it's done well, is going to be amazing. Now, who did we cast? Let's talk about that for a little bit. So what we did was we set up more or less how we imagine would probably be the most viable way of telling the story. Like, what kind of vibe are they going for? Who are they going to focus on most? And it seems like the best thing to do, and the most, the best way to show tribute to John is to make Karen and John the main characters, of course. Right. And so, and it would be a lot of courtroom drama, because the courtroom shit is insane. The courtroom shit in the Karen Reed case is insane. So you got to have and so we were aiming high, man. We were going for A-listers here. And this movie has to be long. Like, the Karen Reed movie has to be long. We're talking about 2 fucking trials. You know what I mean? And you're talking about the fact is the Karen Reed story at the end of the day is a mystery. This is undeniable. It is a mystery. We don't know. We don't know who actually killed John O'Keefe. We still don't know. We have people that we like for it, right? But we don't know who did it. So and we're going to cast this different, because I think the vibe of the TurtleBoy movie is going to be very different than the vibe of the Karen Reed movie. I think that the Karen Reed movie ideally would be Ben Affleck or like David Fincher to direct, to tell that story really well. Like, I think Ben Affleck is a brilliant director, and I think that he understands the New England, he's got a better sense of the New England vibe, better than almost any director out there, I would think. So I think that he would be incredible for it. In now David Fincher for like the recreations and whatnot would be amazing too, and the courtroom drama as well. I could just see Fincher just knocking that shit out of the park. Now, but TurtleBoy, I see as a true story that is a fucking comedy. Now, a dramedy, really, but in a really fucked up kind of crazy way. Like the person that I have in mind to direct the TurtleBoy story, top of my list, the way that I would imagine it being done. And I feel like y'all will agree with me when we start getting into what characters are going to be in this thing, right? So I feel like top of my list, Steven Soderbergh, 100%. I feel like this movie has to be told in the style of like The Informant with Matt Damon, because the characters in that shit were fucking hilarious, and it was just beyond belief what was going on. The whole time you're watching that movie, you're going, what in the fuck? And it all happened. And that's how you tell the TurtleBoy story, in my opinion. Like, make it out to be a comedy, but it's so unbelievable that it makes it that much better because it actually happened. All of the things happened, you know? So that's the way that I see that story should be told. I mean, I don't see how it could properly be any other way. Just I'll put one name out there. Grant Smith Ellis. How do you not cast that guy? Like, tell me he's not something straight out of a fucking Soderbergh movie, dude. Tell me he's not. Tell me John DePipe is not something out of a fucking Soderbergh movie, dude. Let's get real. So, in casting this, I find this to be, last night was a fun process. Last night was a fun process. I ate a gummy and I was like, okay, let's get our fucking thinking caps on here. And now here's how this works. Here's how this is going to work. I don't want anybody getting mad at me, okay? Because there's going to be a lot of fucking names getting thrown out there. And I am basically laying down the law. The buck stops with me, is how this is going to work, okay? Names are going to get thrown out there. I'm going to be critical as fuck of some of the names that you throw out there. Other names I'm going to be like, ooh. And then I'm going to put it in a poll. And I'm going to put 4 names that I pick, that I have, that I use my judgment to choose from in the chat. 4 names. Or if I think of one, I'll throw it in there. If I feel really strongly about it, I might even veto one, because I vetoed this, dude. Like I'm telling you right now, I vetoed this. I was like, this one, I'm not taking any votes for. The decision's made for this. And this is for Karen's movie. Hold on. Take a look at this. That's there's no better choice for Brian Albert than that. I don't care what anyone says. Like, I just don't give a shit what anyone says. All he has to do is maybe gain a little weight, and that's it. You don't even have to give him that much dialogue. Make him that much more menacing. So, what I'm going to do this is how we're gonna start naming people that we know involved in this shit. Now think about this shit, dude. We're talking about now before we get into this, okay? Before we get into this, just want to let you guys know this is how we're going to spend our evening. But there's other shit that I want to go over first. That's really, really fun because Twitter's been really, really fun today. And so I have to show you guys, like, let's go over some of this stuff here. Let's begin with our friend here, our old friend here, who made this weird video for Meredith. It was very bizarre. This is an attorney. For some reason, yeah, there's a lot of stuff we're gonna go over on Twitter. This is gonna be get comfortable. This is gonna be a fun live stream. Okay, we're just gonna get to the casting in a little bit, but there's some stuff I want to go over here today because Krusty Panties has been busy on Twitter and just some stuff that's been happening on Twitter that's been of note that makes me laugh. And so I made this little video. A lot of you already saw this video where she was just lip syncing really bad, but this isn't the whole video. This is the one I cut.
People will die starting tonight. I'm a man of my word.
That bitch is fucking crazy. So she is completely insane. So I forget her name, but she's a lawyer and she's a moron. Like I talked about her a lot on Twitter. I had fun with her on Twitter. Just because dude, the Karen Reed thing, one of the things that blows my mind is that there's people out there with fucking law degrees who are saying the most outrageously shitty, irresponsible, stupid things. And then, I can't understand how it's not the most obvious thing, how there's certain types of people who follow certain types of people when it comes to the information in this case. Like just the dude. Hold on. Now, I don't even want to play because I'm going to get copyright dinged for it. But it's even more cringe silent, though. Honestly, it really is. So this is her, like, she's a lawyer, bro. Dude, look at her fucking apartment, bro. No, man. I don't want that shit. Like, Meredith, come get your man. It's so look at that's a fucking people pay her to litigate on their behalf. Look at the fucking spot, dude. Dude, it's like it's like there's no furniture and it's a fucking OnlyFans studio. Like, what is going on back there? Right? And oh yeah, let me change that real quick. Because this is, yeah, we need to be. Yeah. Let's all right. I got the TurtleBoy Defense Fund link is pinned at the top. Thank you guys for hitting the like on the way in. I appreciate it. But I mean, look at this. Look what's back here. What is going on back here? What is going on? Now, my post says just simply says this: when you hire this attorney for only God knows what reason you would, keep in mind that when she goes home after representing you in court and still has you on retainer, this is what she's thinking about, and this is what she's doing with her time, is sitting there and worrying about TurtleBoy. And she shamelessly threw herself begging online to be on Barstool Sports. Like, this is not a person who wants to be a lawyer. And this is what's scary. You know what I mean? When there's jobs that are that important, this is not a person who actually wants to be a lawyer. This is somebody who went out and got a law degree and thought, what I can do with my law degree is use it like Coffendorfer uses a badge and just talk completely out of my ass to anybody who will take me because I can claim to be an expert on a subject and I could get in the true crime world. And that's all. That's it. This person has no interest in actually making a difference in her community. She has no interest in doing the right thing for the sake of a client. She has no interest in doing anything virtuous that comes with being an attorney. She's everything that's wrong with being an attorney. Those things that, you know, those attorneys that you fucking hate, you know, the reason why people hate attorneys, that's this one. She's one example. She's one example. And then this person comments, she's disgusting, and I'm getting hoarder vibes when I look around the room. And I just went on a tangent here. I don't know what was going on with me yesterday. I just was very Twitter crazy. And I said, that's the apartment of an underachieving drunk who did God knows what instead of actually studying to get through law school. She clearly doesn't place any value in the profession in which she's in, nor does she take any actual pride in herself. She looks like she drinks herself to sleep after a meaningless hookup with some frat boy she picked up in a Southie bar, and then drags herself to whatever office was dumb enough to employ her, only to achieve the bare minimum that is required of her to finish out her day, and then goes home and makes drunk cringe TikTok videos until she rolls out to the bar and repeats the daily process. Furnishing her apartment is obviously not on that list of priorities. I mean, that's not a lawyer to be taken seriously, dude. It's just not. Like, I can't imagine somebody like that hit the books, dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't see that happening. Like, I don't see that happening. Dude, my brother is a physical therapist, okay? And he studied harder than anybody I ever knew in my life. He studied so much that it annoyed everybody. He studied so much that it annoyed the whole world. And he's not even a lawyer. He didn't even go through that extra school. And he had the most disciplined, and he would never, ever like make TikTok videos like that and put them out. Like, I feel like the world is coming to an end if I saw my brother put out a TikTok video where he's going, you know, like I would be like, this is it. This is the apocalypse. This is it. I wouldn't be able to process it. Like, it's so wild, dude. And she wants to be like on court TV and shit. And that's the thing, is court TV doesn't give a fuck. Law and Crime didn't give a fuck. Fuck around to find out. Who the fuck does that, dude? What kind of attorney talks like that, dude? It's just wild to me. This whole thing is like a surreal dream. It's bizarre. So let's move on to some new business. Like Krusty Panties Kate Peter has been on a fucking rampage today, bro. Okay? Just a fucking rampage. So it's just really funny because she's like breaking news. TurtleBoy caught stalking Colin Albert and other Albert family members to Mashpee, Massachusetts. He is prohibited from going near Colin, who is named victim in the multiple felony cases. There is photographic evidence. More as this develops. Yeah, no shit. Like, because everybody was stopping dude to take pictures at the beach. Now, this is necessary. Okay. So there are so many funny things about this post. So, breaking news: man goes to beach on Independence Day. The McAlverts do not own Cape Cod or Canton. I do. Oh my gosh. So there's that tweet from fucking Krusty. And that oh my god, dude. He just looks so fucking relaxed. Like he just looks like all he needs is a little sunscreen like the white on his nose. And this is just such a great, fun little fuck you to these idiots that are just sitting on their phones fucking getting angry. You know? Like it's so fucking funny, dude. Oh Jesus, dude. Like, you know that this picture just infuriated every single TurtleBoy hater like in the world. It made them all so angry. Dude. Now, it doesn't end there, folks. It gets better. Believe it or not, it gets better. So then Kate Peter posts this. So she posts, whose car is this driving by and threatening violence on a state's witness down on the Cape? I know who was in the passenger seat doing a lot of yelling. This is all being documented now. And then has the proof that there was yelling, but it wasn't coming from that car.
The fuck out of here.
Oh. Oh.
The fuck out of here. 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 The fuck out of here.
Now that's interesting. Who's that sound like? Anybody? Anybody? Happy 4th, LB Cops TV. What's up, Steve? Who's that sound like? You wrong. Fuck out of here. Now this is a fun post because here, let me pull it up on mine real quick because it's actually more. What am I doing? Yeah, I didn't mean to click on that. So when I reposted it and I said, so let me get this straight. You claim this is a state witness's house. The person at the house took a video and sent it to you. The person at the house sounds just like Higgy, but you don't have a direct line to Brian Higgins, who had the only motive to murder Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Hey, Peter, I don't think you could get any crustier. Free TurtleBoy. Yeah. You got some splendid to do. And the best thing about it, bro, like, and look at the video quality, bro. Look at it. It was a fucking burner phone that fucking
Fuck
filmed
out
it.
of here.
It's a fucking burner. It's a fucking burner phone that fucking filmed it.
The fuck out of here.
Is he gonna throw this phone away too? He just throws away phones? Is that what this guy does?
The fuck out of here.
Oh my god, dude. Oh my god, dude. I can't with you, Higgy. Higgy, what are you doing, guy? Decorated dude, bro. Joe Flipperhead, dude. Joe Flipperhead's like, a state witness to what exactly? The only thing worth documenting is the tweet, which shows that you are without question fucking retarded. And I concur, Dr. Flipperhead. I concur. Dude, so listen, man. This is very, very interesting. Now, as I understand it, Meredith's parents live like right there, right? And he wasn't even driving. So, you know, I guess she just fucking took that route, I guess. I don't know. I mean, there's nothing nefarious about what happened there because they were hanging out in their parents' boat, in her parents' boat, and then they had to go back to her parents' house. If that happened to be by Higgy's house, that shit has happened to be by fucking Higgy's house. Now, the interesting thing about this, though, is not so much that Meredith lives near Higgy. The interesting thing about this is that Higgy took a video on a burner phone of him telling Aiden and Meredith, get the fuck out of here. Allegedly them. Because, I mean, you can't, it's a burner phone. You can't even see the license plate. You don't even know if it is them. So, you've got, you've got Higgy taking a video of a car that may or may not be Aiden and Meredith with a burner phone, cussing them out, and then it gets sent straight to Krusty Panties? It gets sent straight to Krusty Panties. Brian Higgins somehow has a direct line to Kate Peter, who has denied having a direct line to Brian Higgins. And in her raging hard on, about to fucking blow a load in the heat of this the heat that comes over her, that she thinks she's got TurtleBoy, she outs herself as someone who has been talking to Brian Higgins this entire time. I mean, I think that's interesting. Am I the only one who thinks that that's interesting? I mean, because these people all deny having any contact with each other, right? I mean, I find it interesting that the person, one of the two people named in the third-party culprit defense in Karen Reed's most recent trial, the person which the evidence shows had the most motive to murder Boston police officer John O'Keefe, and yet Boston police officer John O'Keefe ends up dead, and Karen Reed gets framed and charged for the murder, and then gets acquitted because they did a horrible job. So they underestimated Karen. And so Karen gets acquitted. Karen beats this frame up, this railroad job by the Norfolk County District Attorney's Office and the Massachusetts State Police and the Canton Police Department. She beats them all. And the guy who is named as, and all the evidence shows had the most motive, and all the evidence shows that he went inside the house, and all the evidence, there's evidence that shows that he was aggressive. There's evidence that shows that he lured John to the house. He texted him, "Are you coming here?" After being visibly aggressive. And then you've got TurtleBoy, the guy who has been exposing the corruption piece by piece by piece by piece, like a goddamn Jenga tower, all throughout this shit. There has been, if you have the Karen Reed corruption tower that locks the corruption inside it, which Jenga doesn't really work like that, but if you can see what I mean, if you can imagine that keeping this Jenga tower together covers up the corruption, Aiden has been, for the last 2 years, taking a piece and taking a piece and taking a piece and taking a piece. And when it started to wobble, they charged him. Then when it's continued to wobble, they threw him in jail. And the person who has been dead set, the person who has been most hyper-focused on getting Aiden thrown back in jail, getting Aiden locked up, is Kate Peter. And it's not suspicious in some way that the person who is being completely persecuted right now, his constitutional rights are being stomped on. He's even stifling himself, chilling the fuck out because he doesn't want to go back to jail, because now it's been shown to the world that they can throw him in jail for anything they fucking want. And it's been this relentless person trying to get him thrown in jail, and the person who had the most motive in the case that Aiden has been exposing the corruption in the cover-up little by little by little. That person has a direct line with the person that's had this vendetta against him this whole time. That's a coincidence. What that does is validate TurtleBoy that much more. That's what that does. It doesn't mean anything at this point other than that. It doesn't matter. Nothing else matters other than that right now, as far as that's concerned. What that does is it validates TurtleBoy. It shows they are trying to get him locked up. It's just another piece of the puzzle of this bullshit collusion that has been perpetrated to get him locked up. Oh, what's up, Meredith? What's up, Microdots? Yeah. So, I mean, I don't get, like, what's really fun to me about, like, people like Krusty Panties, people like John DePepe, is they constantly fail. They just go after TurtleBoy and they fail. Like, and he doesn't even have to do anything. Like, he totally won today by by going to the beach and taking a picture and go, like, he won. That's all he had to do, is go to the beach with his girl and take pictures with people. And he didn't do anything to Krusty at all. He didn't do anything to her. Didn't do anything to Higgy. I mean, it's fascinating when you think about it. And this is a constant occurrence. This is what the TurtleBoy movie is going to be, in my mind, okay, is a Soderbergh style real life story, Roadrunner and fucking Wile E. Coyote movie. That's what I'm looking at. Just the whole time you're telling his story, you're going over, and there's the facts of the case, what he discovers, all this shit, the rolling rallies, all this stuff that he's done. I mean, it starts with him being a teacher, all this shit. We're just hypothetically throwing out. This is, I have no idea what they're going to do with this movie. No idea. It's in its conceptual phases still. I have no clue. I'm not going to know until it comes out, any more than you will. But I'm going to have what we're going to do right now is we're going to try to rationalize what would be the best way to tell this story, which would make it easier to cast if we have an idea. Because this is what's going to get on my nerves in the chat. Don't throw out names just because they might look like somebody, okay? They do amazing things with makeup. What we want is attitude, mannerisms, character and actor personality similarities is what we want to look for before anything else. Looks too, of course, but just looks, it's, that's not going to get us anywhere, because what we want to do is we're trying to cast a really good movie here, aren't we, folks? Right? This is what we want to see. Why not? We're using our imaginations. Why not aim high? Right? So why not put some serious effort into it? Take it seriously, right? Just for the fun of it. So what we'll do is we'll imagine how do we think that would be the best way to tell this story? Best way to tell this story would most likely be, like I said, yeah, yeah, we just went over that actually, homie. We just went over that. So, and to get the casting out of the way, I think we already all agree Renner is the number one choice for TurtleBoy for this movie, right? So Renner for sure. We all agree on that. We could just get that one out of the way. Now, what's up, Dina? Good to see you. Last night, I'll try to remember what we did. Now, there was that Tommy Flanagan for Brian Albert. And we thought the chat for the most part decided, because I put it up for a vote. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna throw names out there once we have imagined what kind of movie this is gonna be. Then we're gonna start throwing names out there for each character, for each real life character, and then I'm gonna pick and choose those characters and put 4 in a poll, because 4 is the max you could put in a poll. So I'm gonna put 4 names in a poll, and then I'm gonna let the chat vote on it. So now let's talk about what kind of movie this is going to be. Like I said, considering the characters in this movie, the most in this experience, following the TurtleBoy aspect of the Karen Reed case, this spin-off of the Karen Reed, if you will, it's a whole nother saga. And I've said 100 times, you cannot properly tell Karen Reed's story without telling the TurtleBoy story, which is why I feel like I would love to have seen that in the Karen Reed movie. You know what I mean? But in a way, it's a good thing TurtleBoy's getting his own movie, because to tell that story, you got to really go into some detail, and you got to really take a deep dive into some of these fucking people, bro. And it's going to be fun to fucking do that. Okay, right on. So the way that I'm seeing this is like a Steven Soderbergh, like very mellow, cool comedy, but shit that's just going to make you laugh. Like the best example, as I was saying earlier, is that I could think of is The Informant with Matt Damon. That style, like it was completely and totally, everything about it was true. And it was the acting was just great, because the characters were so fucking, you're like, I can't believe these are real people. But The Informant was great. And I see the TurtleBoy movie being told similarly, because you're basically, the setup I imagine is going to be like the formula is going to be, you've got telling his story as he's starts blogging while he's teaching. He's, you don't have to go as far back as his damn childhood. I mean, if they want to, whatever, but we don't need to do that. But, go back to his teaching and where he starts blogging, and a couple of the stories that he talked about. I mean, some of the fucking ratchet people, if you fucking dramatize some of that shit, it's going to be fucking hilarious. Dude, you imagine fucking a dramatization of Janetti, bro? Some dude playing Janetti? Like, just get some awesome fucking actor to drop in doing a cameo of Janetti. That alone is comedy fucking gold, bro. It's hilarious. So as you're doing this, you're just going to have him moving forward, like progressing in his career as an independent journalist, while people start to make enemies with him, and then they try to fuck him up, and they just keep running into a fucking wall. And there's no way to not make that hilarious through the whole goddamn movie, dude. There's no way there's no reason why this movie shouldn't be hilarious from beginning to end. It should absolutely be fucking hilarious. Like the fact that it's all a true story would make it that much funnier. Like, it's the kind of comedy that wins Oscars. Comedies don't win Oscars, but this is the kind of comedy that, if it's done right, would absolutely win Oscars, especially if you get some really big name actors who see it as a really fun project, and they're doing it for the artistic aspect of it, and they're not taking a big pay cut. They're just looking for awards. You know what I mean? So if they write a really good screenplay for this, they'll knock it out of the park. It'll be amazing. You get a really good screenwriter and you get a really good director. And Soderbergh's top on my list for this because it's just that kind of comedy. All right, so having that in mind, now you look at other Soderbergh movies, he's done a bunch of shit, but all have a really cool vibe to them. Like you have the Oceans movies, he did those. He did Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez, which isn't a great one, but it was still cool. He did God, I'm forgetting like some really important good ones too. But he's done like some fucking great ones. And I don't know why I'm having a brain fart on some of those movies that he's done because I'm a big Soderbergh fan. He did that movie. Oh man, the one with Gina, the one who got canceled, the muscular chick that got canceled. I forgot her name, Gina something. And it was like a badass like spy movie. People kept saying Hilary Swank for Karen Reed. Now let's cast Karen Reed for, let's get that out of the way now. Let's cast Karen Reed for the TurtleBoy movie. So yesterday what we did for Karen Reed, we cast Jessica Biel. So Olivia Wilde, Jennifer Aniston. We cast Parker Posey for Jen McCabe last night in the Karen Reed movie. Jennifer Aniston as Karen, I don't see that at all. Rachel McAdams, no. I could see Rachel McAdams playing because again, we're not really going for looks here. I could see Rachel McAdams playing Eliza Little, like kicking ass in that role. Scarlett Johansson. No, hold on. I got to pull up so I could put the poll, start making the poll. But so far, I'm hating all the names that you guys are throwing out there, if I'm being honest. Claire Danes is Karen Reed. Man, Maria Bello is Karen Reed. No. But Maria Bello, like, she could play the role. She would do good in the role. I think she would. But I feel like her looks wouldn't be even nearly close enough. Not Jennifer Garner. Not Katie Holmes. No. I would have said, like, 10 years ago, I would have said Toni Collette, like 10 years ago, but not now. She's too old to play Karen. Nicole Kidman. Who's Annie Murphy? I don't know who Annie Murphy is. Let me look her up. I could see that. I'm going to put her on there. Here, let me get an image. You guys could see. trying to find a good one that would like resemble Karen the most to put up. I don't know. This one's pretty close. Here, I'll show you guys. So that's Annie Murphy. I think somebody said, hold on. So I'm going to put her name on the poll real quick. All right, we're casting Karen Reed right now. You know what? See, that's the thing. People talked about Courtney Cox last night, and I could see Courtney Cox doing Jen McCabe, but in like a Lifetime movie. You know what I mean? Not like a big budget. No, you know. Because I feel like you could still do this TurtleBoy movie without a huge budget and still make it fucking dope. You know what I mean? If you could spend the majority of the budget on the actors and just get like A-listers to fucking make this awesome fucking movie, then you got yourself an Oscar runner-upper. I thought Emma Stone for Eliza Little too. I thought she would do great as Eliza Little. Mila Kunis, no. Marissa Tomei, maybe. I'll put that down. Elizabeth Olsen. For Karen Reed. I don't know about Natalie Portman either. Maybe Natalie Portman. Winona Ryder? No. I don't think she'd capture Karen Reed's attitude but well enough. Olivia Wilde? Maybe. I'll put that down. Olivia Wilde's totally my girlfriend. Oh, yeah. I can't believe I forgot this one. All right. This is the poll. It's up. My first choice is Drea Di Matteo. Honestly, that's easily my first choice. So if you guys don't know who Drea Di Matteo is, she was on The Sopranos. She was the one that like she was the boyfriend, or she was the nephew. Fucking why am I forgetting all the characters' names? Tony Soprano's nephews. Fucking Michael Imperioli is the actor, his girlfriend on The Sopranos. And I think that she would fucking kill the Karen Reed role, honestly. Christopher, thank you. Yeah, Christopher. She's not that old. She could still do it. She still looks good. Ooh. Yeah, that made things shift a little bit when I explained who she was. Yeah, so I'm going to let this go. Let's see how this one votes. And then I'll determine based on how long this one takes. And I love when it's kind of close like this. I love when it's kind of close like this. No, we're already, the poll is up. That's it. This is what we're voting on. All other suggestions for Karen Reed are null and void for the TurtleBoy movie. Yo, Joe Flipperhead was dropping some good ones yesterday, but he was dropping some really bad ones, in my opinion, too. I was just like, what the fuck is you doing, dude? Same with Bob Mata, dude. Bob Mata was in here. Just, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? Y'all are crazy. You know, I could speed this process up. Like, I'll let this go. I'll cut this off, and I could speed this process up by giving you guys a very limited time to vote. So I'm going to close this vote here, and it's going to be it's Drea De Matteo in the TurtleBoy movie. I love it. So Drea De Matteo wins the role of Karen Reed in the TurtleBoy. In our TurtleBoy movie. Now, okay, so who's next? Let's do somebody fun. Okay. We got to have people like main characters. You know, Krusty is going to be a character in this, right? In our movie, Krusty would definitely be like a major fucking antagonist, right? So let's cast Krusty. Now, this is really funny because people kept throwing this girl's name out there yesterday, and it was getting on my fucking nerves every time people were throwing it out because there was nothing that worked for her. And I was just like, why? And Bob Mata was all about her too. And I already forgot the chick's name. I already got it. So people kept throwing Aubrey Plaza's name out there. And I was just like, for what? You know, like, I kind of like her. She's okay, but but for this movie, what if Aubrey Plaza was not this lovable, sweet person? What if you gave her a role where she was a fucking shitbag? Like, think about it. It's an easy fix. Like, as far as appearances go, bro, you just put a fucking fake nose on her, put her in a fat suit. You know what I mean? And then you got crusty panties. And Aubrey Plaza could just be a fucking all the fucking time. It would be fucking great. You would hate her. Like, that's the whole idea. You would hate her. You like, the idea is to make the antagonist somebody you fucking hate. Or Aubrey Plaza as Deaver for sure. Yeah, that would work. I'll give you that. All right, so we're casting Krusty. Now, this is just to find out if we're going to put her on the ballot. I'm going to put up this poll right here. Okay? I'm going to put up this poll right here in a second. Miss Bell, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Pat from SNL. Okay. This is just to determine if we should put Aubrey Plaza on the ballot to come. When we, if does she deserve to be on the ballot for Krusty? I will leave it up to you guys to decide that. All right, so 60% of you guys said no. All right, so that's decided. Aubrey Plaza not on the ballot for not on the call sheet, as it were, for the role of Krusty. All right, so throw some names out there for Krusty Panties. Let's go. Julia Garner. That's actually a good one. People were suggesting her for other roles yesterday. I was like, no, but Julia Garner is really talented, and I could see her doing a good Krusty. I'm putting her on the poll. Catherine Hahn. She's too old. She could do it, though. Catherine Hahn could do it. And how old is Krusty? Anyway, she's got to be like what? I figure she's like 40. Dude, don't mention Anna Kendrick to me, dude. I'm not putting her in anything. Me and my son, when we would watch movies on the weekends, like whenever we were looking for a movie to watch, we'd finally settle on one. We might rent one, whatever. And then, we had a nickname for her. Like whenever because she just kept showing up in movies at that time. And like, we just called her, I don't like your fucking face. So like, my kid would be like, I'd be like, yo, what's up with that one movie? Like with Sam Rockwell, and he would be like, all right. And he'd be like, oh, but hey, I don't like your fucking faces in it. Fuck. All right. Do we want to watch it? Maybe we'll watch it anyway. That was our nickname for Anna Kendrick. Amber Heard. No, and come on, like I know people want to like throw insults out there, like oh Shrek and the Penguin, and come on, like we're trying to like let's find an actual actor. You got to think she's going to play a significant role in this story, right? And she's got to be portrayed perfectly. This is a very important role here, Krusty Panties. Okay, it's a very important role. So let's see who would be the best person to do it. No, not DeVito. Come on, seriously, guys. Olivia Munn? No way. No, not Molly Shannon. I mean, I'll put Catherine Hahn in there just because we're fucking running dry here. Ronda Rousey. Come on, people. Have you seen her act? She's awful. No, Michelle Rodriguez, no. Helena Bonham Carter. I'm adding that one. That was a good one. One more. No, not Jenny McCarthy. Not Tina Fey. Not Melissa McCarthy. Not Kathy Griffin. Who's Lena Dunham? Let's see who Maz is talking about. Oh, wow. Dude. Okay. I'm putting her on the ballot. All right. Now, yeah, bro. All right. Now you have until the Jeopardy music ends to vote. All right, closing the poll. 76% says Lena Dunham, man. She wins it. That's your crusty panties right there, bro. I love it. Yeah. Yeah, because I've seen her and stuff, and I could see it. I could absolutely see it. She gets the part. She gets the part. So her opposite Renner, like, picture that. Now, this is the fun thing about this casting part, because you got to imagine these actors and they're dynamic together, right? You got to use your imagination here. So imagine Renner just getting stalked relentlessly by this fucking by this woman. You know what I mean? Just getting stalked relentlessly by an evil version of this person right here. Oh my God. Well done, Mazza. Well done. You know what? Hey, Mazza, if you want to come up here, I'll send you a link, bro. Because I feel like this would go easier with you. Because I think you have a broader knowledge of today's actors than I do, honestly. So I would love to have you up here, bro. Let me know and I'll send you a link. I'll send you a link anyway. And if you can come up, you can come up. There we go. All right. So Mazza, you have a link if you want to come up. You're welcome to come up here because I feel like this process would probably be easier with you up here. Well, we actually picked Ryan Gosling for John O'Keefe for the Karen Reed movie. He's got the right vibe, you know. I think he captures the right vibe. Just a naturally likable guy. He's got the very strong but soft look in his eyes. Tom Hardy as Turtle Boy? No. No. I mean, I could see it looks wise, like I could see it work. But I yeah, that's not really a Tom Hardy kind of role, I don't think. But we already agreed just to make this process faster. We already agreed on Renner. Renner's definitely the best choice. He could do the accent, you know, like you look at him in the town and you can see he can do Turtle Boy. Dude, that's what I'm talking about. Dude, like, dude, Lauren, you're totally right. Like, how are people gonna fucking like keep it straight? Like, you know how many takes this shit's gonna be done? Fucking like whoever plays Turtle Boy is gonna have to fucking monologue like crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like Renner would have to monologue and monologue. Like they'd have to get hours of monologue just so they can like cut it and use it, you know? Tara Reid is Jill Daniels. Now let's go to who we're gonna do next. Yeah, let's keep this moving. Who are we gonna do next? We gotta do let's do DePepe. Let's just get DePepe out of the way. Let's do DePepe. Now we're not gonna go through everyone tonight, but let's do DePepe. Oh, actually, yeah, okay. Let's do DePepe and then we'll do oh, wait a second. Giamatti. All right, I'm gonna put that in the poll. Bobby Monahan as oh, you know he could do it too. Oliver Platt's too old, and I like him too much. Like Oliver Platt's too likable to be, you know, not the kind of unlikable that DePepe is. Rob Schneider could totally do it. Dude, it needs to be somebody fucking tiny. Adam Sandler, Patton Oswald. I mean, I see where you guys are going here. Like, I get it. David Spade. I don't know. I feel like something's gonna fucking pop out at me when I see it, but none of these are popping out. Like, none of them are like really fucking hitting when I'm picturing them. Jason Sudeikis, no. Jason Sudeikis, we thought about him for AJ. I think I think he'd play a great AJ, like a different take. He doesn't have to be exactly like AJ. Just capture the essence of what makes AJ. William H. Macy as I don't know who BB Thornton is. We're casting John DePepe now. Gary Oldman for John DePepe? He's not. No, man. So you have to understand, John DePepe in the movie that I got in mind right now, John DePepe is just an ongoing character trying to compete with TurtleBoy and failing at every turn and almost trying to sabotage him. You know what John DePepe is going to be like? You guys ever see the movie How High with Redman and Method Man? Okay, great, fun little stupid stoner movie, right? Fun shit, right? So remember the campus security guard? Remember the campus security guard that had the bicycle and shit just kept happening to him and he just kept being all fucking like, oh, I'm gonna get those guys. That kind of that's how you make John DePepe in the movie. John DePepe is just somebody who's just this annoying fuck who keeps showing up, trying to fuck TurtleBoy up, and then he just ends up landing on his face, and TurtleBoy doesn't even have to try to do anything. This is what keeps happening. So, like, if you have this going throughout this movie, or at least throughout like the latter half of the movie, you've got consistent comedy gold throughout this movie. It's going to keep you laughing throughout the whole thing. And there's enough TurtleBoy and DePepe shit to like do this. I mean, all you have to do just have like, you spend 2 minutes on TurtleBoy trolling him in front of the courthouse. 2 minutes of just showing him being like, yeah, this is the TurtleBoy corner. Yeah, FCC violations, just fucking trolling him. It would be fucking hilarious. So it would have to be somebody who is just, you're going to really enjoy seeing fail over and over again. Bobcat would be good. Bobcat's one. No, Sean Astin, no. Oh, okay. Oh, this party just picked up, folks. This party just picked up. Hold on. All right. All right, people. Stephen Root. Oh, I'm putting him on there. Stephen Root is beautiful, bro. Fucking beautiful. So we've got 2 names on there so far. Rob Corddry, no, not the right kind. Dinklage, not Dinklage, but if you actually cast like the right little person, like that fucking would be hilarious. That would work so well for just a fucking movie, a dramatization. Why the fuck not? Just cast a dwarf as a fucking as John DePepe. It would be fucking hilarious. Steve Carell could work too. Every time I see somebody drop the name in chat, it grows on me a little. But before I put any more names up, I'm gonna wait for my guest to pop on. Johnny Galecki, yeah, that could work. Like I could see him like reading for it and maybe getting it. Bob Odenkirk, yeah, that could work too. Nah, Stephen Root could do it with makeup. Stephen Root is just about perfect. Like so far, that's my vote. All right, folks. The doctor. What's up, homie?
What's happening?
How's your fourth, bro?
It was good, but McAlbert's won't leave me alone, bro. It's like I just trying to chill. Just trying to chill, bro, down the Cape.
I saw.
I had
You
no
look-
advertisements. I didn't say it was coming down here, nothing. I come down here, I go to the beach, I'm walking around, a bunch of people take pictures of me, having a good time. Next thing you know, Krusty says I'm following Colin. I'm not following his bitch ass around. I don't want a mediocre chicken parm. I just want to enjoy the beach. Do the McAlberts think they own the whole fucking state? Like seriously?
Apparently.
Like what
I
the
mean,
fuck?
Like there's always one right where you go. Like
Is he really? I've seen no evidence that he's down here. None.
Right. I mean, it's probably bullshit, but yeah, but I get it though. It's like with Clubber, as much like I love Clubber more than anything on the planet, but like I'm always like, bro, you're always like right where I need to be. I need you to move, dude. You know,
Yeah.
like Clubber will just be right where right where I'm going. And I'll be like, come on, bro, like move. You know, that's like what it is for like the greater Boston area and you and the McAlberts.
Like it's a small state, but ain't that small. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there's like a whole bunch of towns in the Cape. Like, I did not announce I was coming there. I just happened to, we're on some little freaking peninsula. We took a boat out there. It's like one of those beaches you can even just go to. You got to get on a boat. So it's a little bit exclusive. We got there at 9 a.m, right? Which I'm not that fond of, which is an early rise, you know? And we get there and, you know, you start walking around the beach and a million people are like, you know, hey, I'm not trying to brag. I'm not sucking my own dick here. It's just a fact. Like, walk around, people ask to take pictures with you now. It's a new thing. So it take pictures. And the whole time I was thinking kind of in the back of my head, are there any McAlberts around? Because there's like 50 of them, you know, like are there McAlberts? I don't know. And like, I would have seen Colin Albert if you trust me, like he would stand out.
Yeah.
You know, and like, cause most people are friendly, but you're like, well, what if one of these people around here isn't? Like, you never know. They don't say anything, but whatever. And then I see Krusty posts that I'm down there. So obviously some McAlbert has reported back to her that I'm down there. Right. And so she's like, he is stalking in Mashpee. It's like, no, bitch, I'm going for a fucking walk. Like, I didn't want to sit in the beach chair all day. Just went on a fucking walk. That's what people do at the beach. I know you've never been to the beach because you're poor and you're on fucking welfare and you've been to the local town pool a couple times, right? And that's about it. And it's 4 feet deep and that's it. And they kicked you out because your fucking kids are out of control and that's it, right? And they were diving in the shallow end probably. You're like, that's it. You're out of here, lady. I get it, right? Even though it's like, I don't care how many Section 8 vouchers you have. You can't stay here. But so I, you know, it was a beautiful day. And I get back and I see that. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake. Like, I'm going to follow Colin Albert around. Like, want to be here. First of all, if Colin saw me, wouldn't he run away? Isn't that their whole thing?
Because he's so scared of you.
Right. That's the thing, right?
Very
Like,
intimidated.
he would run for the hills if he saw me, right? Like, so what the fuck, you know? And I've yet to see the picture. I haven't seen it. So I take a picture and I post it and like, oh, he's got chest hair. Oh, yeah, all this shit, you know, blah, 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 blah. And everybody's focusing on, you need to put chapstick on and whatever, bro. It's fucking hot. What do you want me to say?
Oh, dude, no, man. Like, you were chilling, dude. Like, I saw it as just like a great fuck you to them. Like,
yeah,
like, my man never goes out into the sun. It's 4th of July. My man's on the beach.
Yeah,
and like you guys you guys are hating on Twitter right now. Fuck you. Like, this is amazing. Fuck you.
It's an Irish barbecue. I'm out there getting fucking burned.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
So it was a great time. And so then, we go a little afternoon, then you've been in the sun all day. So you know what I could go for? Iced coffee. Okay. Large. You go down there, you get the large vanilla shot, not the swirl. Don't give me that nasty fucking sugar full of shit. I want the shot. So I get that. And then we're like, you know what? You know who lives around here? Mr. Decorated Dudes around here, Kevin from Zelda. So since we're in the hood, why don't we? It's like a tourist attraction, right? So, we drive by, and so he lives on this like little cul-de-sac thing. There's only like 4 houses on the whole street. Peggy Lane, 3 Peggy Lane. So I drive by. Oh, Dachshund, sorry. And we drive by the house. I gotta confess, not the first time I've seen Higgins' house. Right, I was down here a couple months ago trying to throw my goddamn phone in a dumpster. If you recall, I did a whole thing on it, and they didn't let me on the Air Force Base. So we go to his house, and I'm in the goddamn passenger seat, and the house is on the right hand side. So the driver's really closer than the fucking passenger. And we drive by, and holy fucking shit, decorated dude in the front yard. Like, of all the times we go by, Higgins on the front lawn. I'm like, I was not expecting this.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's on our way out. Right? So
the fuck out of here.
It's just a cul-de-sac, that street. Like, so we drove by his house, and I'm in the shotgun, and I'm like driving by, and I'm like, holy shit, he's right there. And then we're like, he didn't see, like, no way he saw me. So we go around the cul-de-sac at the end of the street, and we turn around, and we go by. And at this point, he has moved forward towards the front of the street. He's got his fucking phone out, and he's like, and we heard him yell, "Get the fuck out of here!" He yells at us. He yells at us, "Get the fuck out of here!" And then he starts chasing after us. He stopped the video there. He gets in the street and he runs after us. Decorated dude. We got this decorated dude running after us, and we're like, "What the fuck, bro?" Higgins is running after us. I said nothing. I literally said nothing. He clearly recognized me from the first drive, unless this guy literally yells and chases after every fucking car.
Yeah, I mean,
must have recognized me, right? He
can't be the only one that's gone by his house like that.
Well, I know Timma the other day posted a fucking picture because that guy gives no fucks. That guy posted, I'm like, I'm outside Higgins' house. So, Higgins like has his head on a swivel because he's down the Cape in the summer, and now people know where he lives. And let's be honest, in trial 2, he was kind of the main character. He's like the new Colin. Like, Higgins did it. Like, last trial, it was Collins did it. Now it's Higgins did it. And so it's like, okay, everybody kind of thinks you killed John O'Keefe, and you're just kind of chilling down the Cape like none of this happened. The dude's got like big signs on his lawn now, like cameras are watching you, no trespassing. Like,
wow, really?
He's very cognizant of what has happened. A lot of people think his house is for sale. It's actually the neighbors. Can't blame him for wanting to get away from Higgins. Like,
wow.
If you live next door to Higgins, you'd probably move too.
That's a bummer. Yeah, I never really thought of that. Like, imagine being Higgins' neighbor now.
It defeats the purpose of living at the Cape. People
that. Yeah.
People move to the Cape to be like stress free, and like, bro,
like you won.
Like,
you moved to the Cape. You won. Yeah, you moved to the Cape. You won.
Yeah, we're going to fucking Barnstable. I'm out of here. And so, like we said, I want to be clear though. I didn't say a fucking word to this guy. I was literally sitting in the passenger seat. He clearly recognized me. And then, you go down the street, and then, like I said, there's a cul-de-sac like 10 feet later. You just drive around the cul-de-sac and you drive out. As you saw in the video, we said nothing. And I'm like, I was honestly kicking myself afterwards. I'm like, how did I not tape that? I have replayed it in my head so many times about why I wasn't expecting him to be there. I'm like, this guy, decorated dude on the front lawn. Are you kidding me?
How'd he look?
Like shit. Fat as he's ever been. He's like fat. He's fat. And like, I'm like, this dude. So he tapes it. I see him taping it, and I'm like, okay, no way this ends up on the internet, because he sounds like an asshole in the video. Like he's yelling, "Fuck
Right.
out of here!" Like he's the only one talking, so he can't. That
Did you get
ruined-
Did you get a look at his phone?
No, I didn't. I don't know why it's so blurry. It looks like fucking 80s porn. Why is it so blurry?
It looks like a burner phone. Like you fucking like you taped it on a burner phone.
What's up with that? Like, what's up? Yeah,
That's
you
the
can't
point.
even
That's
really-
what's so fucking crazy. Like, why? Like, even when he's fucking trying to tape somebody on his lawn, he's using a fucking burner phone. What the fuck is with this guy?
Yeah,
Burner
like
phone.
if I hadn't told you guys that was him, you might not even know it's him. It doesn't even really sound like Kevin from South Boston that much there, you know? And he's like,
Yeah.
get the fuck out. But I think the wildest part about, because I'm like, that's not going to end up on the internet because there's no way that Higgins talks to Krusty, right? There's
Right.
no way. Like that's we agreed on the way back. We're like, okay, he ain't gonna post that because there's no way. Because if that ends up on the internet by Krusty, that's an admittance that Higgins talks to Krusty, right?
Yeah. Yeah. We went over that.
Or
We went over that.
or there is a McAlbert's connection, which we assumed was also fucking cut based on the Kevin Albert text in which he texts Higgins that the FBI found and was like, hey, what's up, dude? You cool? Like everybody got a grand jury, but you, like, what's going on, bro? And you're not returning anyone's calls
You're
anymore.
making
Like,
people nervous.
so clearly Higgins still has some sort of McAlbert. I think that Higgins kind of proved himself in the first trial. Like to them, like I
Yeah.
think they were really nervous about what Higgins was gonna say. And then Higgins got up there and he was just like a soldier for them. Like, bro, he never came in the house. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm a decorated dude. Ain't no way that guy came in the house. Like, no fucking way. Karen did it. Karen did it. The defendant did it. You know, she did it. And then like Brian Albert's like, okay, he's still solid. He might not be talking. Clearly, Higgins got some sort of direction from his attorney. Like, dude, the feds are onto you. Don't talk to those motherfuckers anymore. And
Well-
he's like, all right, I gotta cut shit, you know.
Yeah, I mean, and look at it this way too. I mean, it would be naive to think that the rest of the McAlberts, Brian Albert specifically, wouldn't go, "Hey, listen," because even if it wasn't Higgins who actually killed John, right? For him to go, "Hey, Higgy, all the evidence points to you. All the rest of us have to do under duress, under pressure, is say
blame you.
It was you." You know,
Yeah.
and things got out of hand, and we were just trying to help our friend. You know, sorry,
But no one's gonna buy that. Like they
And-
can't. They're all stuck in this lie together. They like Higgins can't throw them under the bus, and they can't throw him under the bus because it's clearly a group job. Like you can't deny. Like if something happened in the house, they're all covering it up, right? Like they all. It's not like one person knows and no one else knows, right?
Right.
This is
Yeah.
a group fucking effort. So they're all stuck in this fucking lie together. And Higgins' lawyer, when he finds out he's been grand juried, is like, yeah, you need to stop talking to them immediately. Stop returning their calls. Fuck them. Pretend you never knew them. Move on with your life. Don't ever fucking talk to them ever again. And Higgins is like, I don't want to go to jail. So that's what I'm going to do. Because, bro, that is the most incriminating shit he did is never talk to them. Like that is like innocent people don't just fucking ditch their best friends, right? They don't.
Right.
You know, like that's not a thing. Like Higgins did something, and so did the McAlberts. That's how you know they're all in this shit together.
That's it. That's
You
it.
know, period.
Yeah.
And that's why when Jill Daniels was like, "What about Higgins?" That's kind of when they were like unsure of Higgins. Like, what's Higgins? Like when Higgins took the stand in May of last year, they didn't know what he was going to say. I'm convinced of that. Like they're like, is Higgins gonna flip? Like, is Higgins gonna? That was the big mystery. It's like, is Higgins gonna? That was the one thing they couldn't control was Higgins. And then Higgins got up there and he fucking did him good. You know, like okay, Higgins is still solid because Higgins is looking out for Higgins.
Right. Yeah.
Period.
Yeah, and also, you know, if Higgins acted alone, you know, Brian Albert would have came down there when the fire trucks were out going, hey, what's going on here? This is my house. What's happening? I don't understand what's happening. And he would have fucking tried to separate himself completely from it. But yes, hiding in his bedroom the way that he did just shows a massive amount of guilt on his part.
Oh, and the fact that Chloe bit him. Chloe is not going to
Yeah.
bite John O'Keefe.
Unless he's being attacked. You cut out there, so that's the only reason I'm talking right now. You lost bandwidth there. But while we wait for him to come back, so yeah, as we're talking about here, I mean, it's very interesting that Krusty Panties has a direct line to Higgy or vice versa.
Am I still on?
There you are. Yeah, you came back.
Sorry about that. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, the dog is not going to defend Brian Higgins. The dog is going to defend its owner. You know, if anything, the dog's going to attack Brian Higgins. Like, period.
Right.
So like
both of them. Yeah, both of them. If there's a struggle, what the fuck are you guys doing in my house? Are you a threat to my owner?
The fact that John has dog bites on his arms is all the proof in the world that Brian Albert's involved. Period. End of discussion. Brian Albert's fucking involved. Brian Higgins is clearly involved because of everything he did that night at the waterfall, at the Canton Police Department, the shady baby. Because Brian Higgins could throw all these motherfuckers under the rug in a second, but he can't because they're all stuck in this fucking horrible lie together, and they're fucking stuck with it. And this and the fact that he's standing on his front lawn taking videos of every fucking car that apparently drives by his house, you know. Like he saw me, he must have seen. I'm in the passenger seat. I didn't say a word. The fact that he sees me means that like his head is like on a swivel, like Chris Albert's was. Like Chris Albert, the way he's around D&E Pizza, comes out, fucking takes a video of anyone out there, like anyone. Like it's like these. And you know what? I love that this is how they're living their lives. I fucking love it. Like that is the ultimate punishment for them. Is that this is how you motherfuckers, Karen Reed is free and she's going to make millions of dollars and she's going to have a great time. And you're living down here swearing at random cars with your flip phone as they drive fucking by. You lose, Higgins. You lose.
Get off my lawn.
Yeah. We weren't on his fucking lawn. Like we
I know.
like the McAlberts think they own everything. They're like, you can't come to my town. You can't come to Mashpee and go to the beach. You can't drive on a street in Sandwich. Why the fuck not? Last I heard, it belongs to the taxpayers, motherfucker, not Brian Higgins.
Right. They act like because there's this witness intimidation fucking thing, this dark cloud hanging over you all the time, that it's something they get to shield over them to go wherever the fuck they want and act like you can't be there just because they showed up. Like, no. It's just
but let's ask something. Let's ask something. Why does Krusty not like? So she posts. You see, she posted like the Shannon Burgess picture of Meredith's car.
No.
Like, look at her post.
Oh yeah.
It's like the Shannon Burgess picture of her car. It's like isolated.
Right.
Is it what the fuck is with that? How the fuck did they get that thing? Like, did they send that to fucking Aperture? Like, well, how the fuck did they get that image of the car? Right. And like, so why is Krusty not named me in her post? She loves naming me, right?
Right.
And she says she knows who the passenger is. It's me. So why isn't she naming me? That's what I don't get.
Yeah, that is weird.
It's nothing's weird. Everything's by design. Like I'm wondering, like, if she's worried. I don't know. Like, something's up. It's weird that she doesn't miss out on an opportunity to call me out. Right? I was in the passenger seat. Clearly, Higgins saw me. Like, I wasn't driving. It wasn't my fucking thing to, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't do it. Like, it is weird that she didn't fucking mention me in that. And she doesn't mention Higgins. She mentions like a state witness. By the way,
state witness.
He's a state witness to nothing. The trial's fucking over. He
right.
doesn't hide behind the witness intimidation statute anymore. Period.
That's what keeps going through my mind. I'm just like, witnesses to what now? You know what I mean? Like, there is nothing anymore. Case is closed. It's over.
The McAlberts can all hide behind, well, I'm still a witness in the witness intimidation case. Like, I'm still like Chris Albert.
Right.
You're like, I'm still in Aiden's case. Higgins, I had no contact with Higgins. Like, so you can't, I'm not charged with Higgins. You can't blame. So Higgins is done. Higgins does
Right.
not get the IBN this bullshit anymore. Like, so
That's an interesting point. Yeah.
Oh.
Because like, yeah, those other ones are witnesses in your case. You haven't had any interactions with Higgins ever. So now that the Karen that could have applied because of the Karen Reed case, because they could have said that you were intimidating a witness in that case, and they could have applied that same law or weaponized that same law, excuse me, against you. And then but since that case is closed now, and your case has nothing to do with Brian Higgins, you can stick a phone right in his face if you want. Who gives a fuck?
Totally.
Yeah.
And it's like, I am kicking myself for not doing that. Like, I was not expecting the decorated. Again, we were going for Dunkin's, and I'm like, I was not expecting to see a decorated dude on this trip. Like, I didn't think he'd be out in his front lawn in his natural environment. Like, that came unexpected to me. So I'm like replaying this in my head. I'm like, holy shit, I should have done this. I should have been like, I should have rolled my window down and been like, oh my God, are you Kevin from South Boston from the JFK show? And like, I should, because he would have ran inside if that happened. I'm like, you know what I mean? Instead, I'm the one running away.
I'll running away, all hunched over. You wrong. You wrong.
You're right. Yeah. Yo, I'm right. I'm right. I'm right, though. For real. I'm not wrong. I'm right. Like, what the fuck, dude? You know? So, the whole thing, I was like trying to explain this to Bettero and Brado before. They like weren't getting it. I'm like, it's too complicated. I'm like,
Jesus Christ,
before
man.
Krusty made her post, I'm like, just to let you know, Brian Higgins just came out of his house and started telling us to get the fuck out of here. It's a long story. I don't really know what's going on here. I didn't do anything wrong. I was just driving by. I wasn't even driving. I was in the passenger seat, and we're right by the house. And it's interesting. Krusty's like not posting Meredith's shit. Like, they have her license plate. Like, they have it posted on there. Like, if there's anyone who could run a plate, it's Brian Higgins. It's interesting that Krusty of all people is not outing me or her. Don't you think?
I mean, it's weird because she's posting. Yeah, why
she knows we're in the neighborhood. She knows I'm in Mashpee, right?
And if she's trying to get you busted, what does she think? Like, because all the purpose it does, really, technically,
she got the Judd Aperture picture of the fucking car. Look at that thing.
Yeah,
that thing's like enhanced. They sent that thing into Aperture. Like, look at that.
I don't want to click on it because it shows it like the full picture, but it shows her license plate, and I just don't.
But it's like that's like, dude, he like got that enhanced and shit. Like, what the fuck?
It's bizarre. Like,
Iggy still got resources, clearly. They had that up in half an hour. It was half an hour later that thing's up. I should have yelled, like Sunshine says. I should have yelled, "Yo, you wrong!
You wrong!
You wrong, mofo! You wrong!" I'll be like, "Yo, what time's JFK on? We listening together?"
Do you know how crazy it is, bro? To like, this guy is the person that everyone likes for the murder of John O'Keefe, right?
Yes,
Anybody with common sense, right?
Yeah.
So, but what's funny is we can't help but make fun of the fucking guy. We don't think of him as menacing. We don't think of him as anything but the guy who could close the deal with Karen Reed. That's all we can think of him as. We can't give him any like.
I should have rolled the window. Like,
no respect as a menace of any kind. Just
like, yo, is this the real deal? I want the real deal. I want the real deal, mofo. I don't want the fucking flyby shit. I want the real deal, Higgy. Give it to me. I want the real deal, bro. I want the whole decorated dude. I don't want this fly-by night shit. You know what I mean? I want the real deal. Give it to me. Give it to me.
Exactly. How can I possibly expect to take you seriously if I can't even wrap my head around why you don't know how to use your dick?
Yeah,
so
no,
like,
right?
I don't know what you're trying to do here with the whole being. Yeah, like, because he can't be innocent either. It's really weird. Like, he's not innocent, and yet he's not this person that's like, oh my God, what a, like, anybody who you know killed somebody, you're like, Jesus, look at him. Look at those eyes. But all we do is look at him and just go, this poor fucking simp for Brian Albert, bro, just killed somebody over trying to impress some other guy. That's
Yeah.
so gay. It's so
pretty
gay.
It's pretty gay. The whole
Unreal.
thing's very, very, very gay. So I don't know. The whole I do enjoy the fact that the acquittal has fucked these people up. Like they are, because now it's like, bro, she's not guilty, and Jerry is like officially said it. So, but John's still dead. So like, we're kind of looking at you more. We were looking at you before, but now we're like really looking at you.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
they're telling you they're on edge, and this is how they're gonna live the rest of their lives. Is like everyone kind of knows y'all motherfuckers killed a dude. So like we kind of like when people see these people at the grocery store, they're gonna kind of look at them and be like, oh yeah, there's the guy that got away with murder. Shit, he's in aisle 4. Hope I don't fucking piss him off. He might come out and kill. And it's like his whole aggressive tone to me, to the car when it fucking drives by. It's like, this is broad daylight and shit. Like, again, imagine what these people would do behind closed doors after 8 Jameson and Gingers. And,
Right.
you know what I mean? John O'Keefe comes in the house getting lippy with them. And we all kind of see it now. Like I saw the Higgins rage.
Yeah, and that's what I mean is like the guy's obviously capable of being very dangerous. He's
Oh,
a
yeah.
trained law enforcement officer. I'm not trying to underestimate the guy. I'm saying it's fascinating that we just don't look at him like that and give him that respect when we talk about him. It's weird. I've never come across anybody in a crime case that I've ever covered like that. You know, it's bizarre. We just can't.
Messages, you know?
The fact is that he's probably not somebody to fuck with, but
yeah, right, yeah,
at the same time, fuck that guy.
Yeah, exactly. We all same time read your text, bro.
Right?
Like, really gay. Like Auntie Deb think that shit's gay. Like that's gay, bro. Like stop it. You know,
like, dude. Being in the looking at everyone in that courtroom as these text messages, he's reading them, dude. Like everybody's just head shaking. Dude, you were here. You were on my panel when he was reading those text messages.
I was on your
live.
show.
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah. You jumped on that day, and we were just like, dude.
Yeah, the Atlantic magazine was in my car. Like he noted that in his story when he wrote about me. I was like, because I couldn't get in court that day, and like I was on the phone with you in the parking lot or whatever. And he's like, can I sit in and watch? And I'm like, yeah, sure. Fuck it. Let's go. You know?
Yeah.
I see people in the car being like I see people keep asking this, and Bradle asked the same question about, did they put a tracker on Meredith's car? I think you guys are missing the point here. No, we went there voluntarily. Like that was a tourist attraction shit. Like she was like, we were on, I don't know the Cape that well. Like it was her idea. Like I'm like, we went to I wanted Dunkin's, you know, because it was a long day in the sun. And then she's like, you want to go to, let's drive by Higgins. And I'm like, sure. What? I'm just a passenger. What the fuck? What am I gonna say? No, you know. So like we go there. So like Higgins wasn't. I was a surprise guest. You know.
Oh, maybe you'll come back quick. Oh, he dropped out. Oh my god, this fucking hilarious, dude. Who will play Baby Clay? Wow. Oh, here he is. Here we go.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, you're good. You're good.
I lose you?
No, you're
unless
no. Can you not hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, all right, cool. I won't be much longer. But anyway, I want to be very clear. Like, there wasn't like some nefarious shit here because Bradle was asking the same question about a tracker on the car. I'm like, no, they're not tracking us. We went there intentionally. Like, I didn't go. Like, I'm a passenger. I want to be very clear. I didn't track down Higgins. But like, she's like, you want to see where Higgins is? I'm like, because like it's a public street. I'm like, well, trial's over. I'm like, sure. And I honestly was not expecting him to be on the front lawn. Like, of course not. Of course he's. But then he ends up on the fucking front lawn. I'm like, you know, I'm like, why the fuck is Higgins there? Like, that's crazy. And then I'm like, oh my God, did he see me? And then we do a little run around the cul-de-sac. And we come back and he's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, I guess he saw me. And we just leave. So that was the end of that.
Yeah, like, how did he know that was you? Or what? Maybe he didn't know it was you, and maybe he just a bunch of people do that all the time, and he's just sick of it. He's like, "Get the fuck out of here!"
So every car that comes down his street, he fucking yells, "Get the fuck out of here!"
And well, yeah, good point. And takes a picture and sends it to Kate Peter. Takes video and sends
That,
it to Kate Peter.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So yeah. So much for that theory.
There's 2 other houses on the street. There's probably 10 other houses on the street. So like, this perfectly normal for cars you don't recognize to drive down that street. Like that's normal. Like you're gonna.
Yeah.
There's no way he does this with every fucking car. He had to have recognized me. He had to have.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
we're talking about a guy that watches the JFK show and is like, so like he's that in tune to it. And that's no knock on JFK. But if you're watching the JFK show, you are knee deep in Karen Reed content. Like, I'm sorry.
For sure.
He's like
For
the
sure.
sixth string
Now,
show. You know what I mean? Like,
but
it is what it
also,
is.
to be fair, also, JFK, the JFK show focused a lot on Higgy.
True.
Like,
It did,
really concentrated on Higgy a lot. So that's probably what drew his attention most. Or one could argue that, but
could.
If you're talking about Higgy, he's probably watching. That would tell you that. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's naive to think that he's not knee deep in to fucking Karen Reed content, dude. Especially now that the case is over and he's been acquitted. He's got to be shitting himself right now.
Yeah,
all the time. All the time.
There's no closure. And they're like, but a cop's dead, so they might want closure. Like, that's the thing. It's like,
any day now. Is today going to be the day?
It's not just any unsolved murder. It's the unsolved murder of a cop. So that ain't going to go over well. Like that. Will that ever close? I doubt it. Like it's tough to look past, you know, and
it is.
He is looking at you, pal. You were the last one on video. You invited him over there. You were trying to bang his girlfriend. Like, you have you literally fit the profile of the killer. Like, of every fucking killer. Like, and we're all kind of looking at you, and now you're kind of acting like we're all looking at you, and it's fucking weird. Just saying, like, I don't know why you had to do that. You should have just gone back in your house, and that would have been the end of that. And then instead you came outside, and then you videotaped us, and then you sent it to Kate Peter.
Yeah,
which is the weirdest thing about it.
That is easily the biggest red flag, is the fact that it got sent directly to Kate Peter, and Kate Peter posted it, and Kate Peter didn't name names for whatever reason.
Yeah, it's bizarre. So
right.
Anyway.
Turbulence in the chat. Speaking of JFK.
Oh, he's in the chat. Nice.
Yeah, he just showed up.
Message from the But anyway, I'm gonna check out, and I will be talking about this more tomorrow after my interview with
yeah, man.
Yes.
Ask his ass about the goddamn shoe.
I'm not asking about the fucking shoe.
I know
you
you're
can
not
ask about the fucking shoe. I have other questions I'm gonna ask.
I have, I would love to talk to AJ if I get the chance, but
you've talked to him before.
Well, on the show, I wanted to hopefully be able to do that, but the chances of that, the way things are looking, it looks like he's got a lot of much more important things lined up, and I don't blame him at all.
He's got the new thing in Pepperdine in California. That's a new thing.
Yeah, and I'm going to be covering that actually.
It's an interesting story, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. You know, I'm not jumping to any conclusions,
because he did say he would do my show when I first met him. He offered it up. I didn't even ask him, but at the same time, you know, I'm just looking at it like, look at the circumstances now. Those were not probably considered at the time. So
true.
But I hope you have an amazing interview tomorrow. Of course, I'm going to be watching, and I'm glad you had a great 4th of July, man. Thanks for jumping on, dude.
Likewise, dude. Talk to you later.
All right. Bye.
Peace.
The doctor, folks. I fucking knew he was gonna say that when I said the shoe. I'm not asking him about the fucking shoe. I knew he was gonna say that. Oh my god. Fun shit, dude. Okay, so who are we on? Give me 1 second, folks. Give me 1 second here. All right. Thank you for your patience, folks. I got one more energy drink worth of content for you guys tonight. So now tomorrow, I don't know. Tomorrow, I think I haven't really touched base with Mazza about it, but I really want to do this with Mazza sometime tomorrow. What I'm hoping to aim for, I just have to touch base with him about it, is before TurtleBoy's interview with AJ. And on Patreon, I will hopefully, if Mazza agrees to it, to the time, if he can do it, we will destroy Point Break for you. We will ruin it. We're going to review Point Break and talk about how bad of a movie it is. Even though we love it, we're going to roast Point Break. So, and it's going to be fun. John Lovitz for DePepe. We're still casting DePepe. That's right. So far we've got, all right, we're on DePepe. I love it. So who's Ron Beasley? I don't know who Ron Beasley is. Let's look up Ron Beasley. No, bro. I don't know who Ron Beasley is. Oh, he looks like him. Yeah, the redheaded kid from Harry Potter. Okay, I could see that. Kevin Spacey. I still want to see Kevin Spacey make a comeback. Crispin Glover. Yeah, we liked Crispin Glover. I liked Crispin Glover for Alessi yesterday, but Mark Ruffalo took that role in the Karen Reed movie in our imagination for the Karen Reed movie last night. Oh my God. We interrupt this program for
Oh, here we go.
I think we got a super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat. Super cat. Super cat. Super cat. I think we got a super cat.
How dare you?
Sumo, thank you so much. If the MSP did actually grow the nuts to initiate you for the window intimidation or indict you for the window or charge me with the window intimidation, could you hire that idiot lawyer from TikTok to defend you just so we can have our own in real life my cousin Vinny moment? No, I wouldn't hire her. Like I wouldn't even hire her to clean my house. Look at her house. I wouldn't even hire her to clean my house. Thank you, Subo. Appreciate it. Cynthia Rose, Steve Buscemi with the eyes of DePepe. Buscemi, bro. Buscemi would be. I'm putting him on the list. I can't even spell Buscemi. I'm saying Steve. I'm going to spell it wrong. I think I spelled it right. Holy shit. It looks right to me. The Rick Hoffman guy, I think, is too tall. If it's the same guy I'm thinking of. Rick Moranis, no. Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd for DePepe? Are you kidding? See, yeah, don't just throw names out there, people. Like, we've got something in mind here. We've got something in the works. Mike Myers might be really funny. Yeah. I'm gonna keep that on the yeah. I'm putting it in there, dude. All right. So here we go, folks. I'm actually going to eat another gummy. And we're dropping the poll. Here we go. Be ready to vote now because you're on a timer. All right. Poll is closed, and it's Steve Buscemi pretty much by a landslide there. That's it. Yeah, Bill Murray's alive. He's pretty old. Yeah, he's a little too old to play the PP, but I think he could pull it off. But I'd say Steve Buscemi's most definitely the and Paul Giamatti and Bill Murray were tied. I thought Stephen Root would have been second choice, if not first. Stephen Root was my first choice. All right, so who's next? Ken Mello. Let's do Ken Mello in the TurtleBoy saga. Ken Mello. All right, who's playing this fucking asshole? Who's playing this asshole? Let's see some names. All right, everybody's throwing DeVito out there. Possibly. You got to remember, this guy's going to be a fucking clown. Like we're talking about this guy's going to be a comedically bad lawyer. Because that's exactly what Ken Mello is. He is a fucking unethical, bottom of the barrel piece of shit. The only person that Michael Morrissey at the time could get to violate Turtle Boy's rights so blatantly. Think about that. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting this name on there. All right, let's keep looking here. You know what? Actually, I'm going to put another name on there because I still believe in it. No, I mean, Ben Stiller, he could gain the weight maybe. Alec Baldwin. No. I think Jonah Hill's too young, but Jonah Hill would have been great. If he's a little older, I think he'd be fantastic. Not Goodman. Oh, no, man. Guys, we want to think big here. We're using our imagination, so we want to think big here. Phil Spector. Ricky Gervais, no. Jack Black, no. Kevin Bacon, no. Henry Winkler, no. Ooh, wait, Henry Winkler. That's a possibility. Henry Winkler, maybe. Not D'Onofrio, not Sam Elliott, not Kevin James. Kevin James we cast as Higgy in the Karen Reed movie last night. Anthony Michael Hall. I feel like Anthony Michael Hall could make a good Brennan. Not Mike Myers. Oh, Morrissey. Morrissey is holy shit for the Karen Reed. Like we thought of what's his name? Fuck. I forgot the guy's name, but he was a fucking spitting image. I didn't even put up a vote for it. I was like, yeah, somebody suggested it. I looked it up and I was like, yeah, that's it. Now, we're not like this movie's not going to be a fucking Naked Gun kind of comedy, you know? It's going to be like a Ocean's 11 kind of comedy. I mean, yeah, DeVito could do it. I'll put him on there. All right, one more name. No, not John Voight. He's too old. Not Pesci. He's too old too. Yeah, Timothy Spall was the one that we decided would be the best Morrissey. The guy's a spitting image. The guy would be fucking amazing. I bet he could do the accent perfect too. No, I'm saying not just looks, not just looks, not hype, not be most focused on the looks. You definitely want to go with who could pull off the role. That would, and you want to consider how they're going to interact with the other characters too. Pesci's too old. Lovitz, no, man. I'm not a big fan of Lovitz, if I'm being honest. Like, I mean, I'm sure he's a fucking great guy. I'm just not a big fan of his comedy so much. Dude, Ron Perlman would be awesome if he was way shorter. He's too big. He's too big of a guy. Shatner. Yeah, see, that's just going for looks too. I'm trying to think of somebody who's going to be really convincing as a pathetic fucking loser, shitty fucking sleazy lawyer. I mean, the guy's wearing a fucking plaid suit in real life, for fuck's sake. You know what I'm saying? Nick Nolte is way too far fucking, he's way too old too. Norton for Ken Mello? Come on, guys. Now you're not even trying.
Paul Sorvino's too old too. All right. We have to keep this moving, so I'm putting down this name. Because I could see him being able to do it. So here, I'm putting up the poll, and time starts now. Oh, yeah. And Paul Sorvino's dead. I forgot about that. It's hard to keep up with who died and who didn't. People were naming all kinds of dead people yesterday. I was just like, stop naming dead people. And I didn't even fucking realize Paul Sorvino was dead. Makes perfect sense. Norm from Cheers is dead too. Like he just died this year, I think. Alec Baldwin could pull it off, but so everybody likes DeVito. All right, so DeVito for Ken Mello. All right. So who's next? Let's do let's make this fun. Let's do somebody that we like, right? Should we do Bradle or Bettero first? Let's do Bettero. Who's going to play Bettero? And it doesn't have to be a short actor, okay? Like we're not, you know, it doesn't have to. You don't have to do that to the mighty Mark Bettero. Like we could give him an actor with some stature. But don't cancel them out because they're tall. Joe Pesci, hands down for fucking Bettero. No. Kevin Pollak. Kevin fucking Pollak is definitely going on there. Holy shit. That shit is actually kind of mind blowing. All right. You can't write Ken Mello out of, I mean, he's too important to the story. What are you talking about? You can't write him out. What the hell are you talking about? Kevin Costner as Bettero? No, come on. Clooney is better. Okay, now you guys are like, come on. Like, as flattering as those choices are, we want them to be somewhat realistic as well. Come on, people. Kevin Pollak's on the list. So far, that's the only one. Like, to me, that's my first choice so far. Till I see a name that really stands out, but I see Kevin Pollak knocking Bettero out of the park. John Cryer. Why do I keep seeing John Cryer? Tony Shalhoub. I'm not seeing like anything that even comes close to being as good as Kevin Pollak. This chat. Not seeing anything to be bettero. Yeah, just for the sake of time. That's it. I'm calling it. It's Kevin Pollak. I'm casting Kevin Pollak as better. I'm going over all your heads. So Kevin Pollak is bettero. Moving on. Bradle. All right. So my first choice for Bradle is going to surprise you guys, but it may not. My first choice for Tim Bradle is Jason Bateman. Like, you got to understand, things are going to be dramatized to a certain degree. You know what I mean? Things are going to be dramatized. There's going to be there's going to be characters who have cool personalities, but the idea of dramatizing them in a movie is to amplify their personalities, to really, you know, and I see a great dynamic between Renner and Bateman always telling Renner to stop fucking doing what he's doing. Like, keeps showing up to fucking keeps having to show up to court whenever somebody, and like, not even to stop doing what he's doing. Like, for the most part, Bradle just backs his ass up. You know what I mean? Like, every single time, you know. But I could see Jason Bateman always having Renner's back in this movie and then being like, dude, it is not fucking easy representing you. Just so you know, it's not easy. Love you, but it's not easy. So I see Jason Bateman capturing that perfectly. Like a dynamic, like a better like, think about that. Kevin Pollak, Jason Bateman as Renner's lawyers showing up to court, just being like, why the fuck are we even here? Like, having that attitude all the time. And then being like, dude, like, why the fuck did you get in front of a fucking security camera and fucking do what you did? Like, why did you go to that fucking place to go fucking eat, dude, and drink? It's not illegal, but fuck, you know. Like, I could absolutely just see Bateman, Kevin Pollak having this dynamic with a Jeremy Renner that's playing TurtleBoy. I think that dynamic would be beautiful. But more names for Bradle. I'll take more suggestions. John Lithgow? No. Is John Lithgow even still alive? Liam Neeson as Bradle? Jesus Christ, dude. Like, he's not gonna fucking Aikido everybody in the courtroom. Ooh, Matthew Modine. See, this is why Mazza's my boy right there, bro. That is actually fucking fantastic. I could see Matthew Modine playing a great Bradle, just depending on what kind of vibe you're looking for here. Owen Wilson, that's interesting. Emilio Estevez is also interesting. Not Matt Damon. Brolin. Like, if I found out Brolin was playing Bradle, I'd be like, oh, this should be good. but I can't see casting him, you know. Sylvester Stallone as Bradle. Are you guys fucking with me now? Is that what's going on? Or you guys are just fucking with me now? Charlie Sheen is Bradle. I'd like to see Charlie Sheen make a comeback. We don't need him to make a mess of the set, though. Aaron Eckhart. I'm putting that down. Aaron Eckhart. One more name for Bradle. You know who would have been perfect for Bradle if they were younger? The guy who played, I don't even remember his name, but he was in X-Men. He played the Senator in the first X-Men movie. And he played, and a lot of you won't know this, but there was a Harry and the Hendersons series, like in syndication back in like the late 80s, early 90s. And I think it was the early 90s. And the guy who played the dad, John Lithgow played the dad in the movie, but this guy played the dad in the series. And that guy would have made a great Bradle. Kiefer Sutherland, nah, he's a little too intense. Bradle's not intense. Like, he can be, you know what I'm saying? Like, when he's arguing, but oh shit, people, it's a party, people. It's a party. Mazamidi, y'all.
What's going on? Matthew Modine's my pick for Bradle. I think he's a strong choice, but I do like Bateman a lot.
Right, because I'm thinking more of like, because I think Modine could do it, and he's definitely got the look, but I feel like if we're looking at like a very comedic dynamic between TurtleBoy and his lawyers, Jason Bateman and Kevin Pollack, man, like Bradle and Betterow, and just having to always like show up to court for TurtleBoy and argue. Listen, what he did is not illegal, and then like behind the scenes, like not in court, just being like, dude, can you not, can you stay away from D&E Pizza? Can you do that? Maybe like.
But Kevin Pollack, though, I think the thing that's great about him as Betterow is he has a strong enough resemblance, but also he had, like in A Few Good Men, he can play the serious role of an attorney. But then also in The Whole Nine Yards and Grumpy Old Men, he can play the comedy role perfectly too. And Betterow, is not only that sharp-witted attorney, but also, Betterow can say some funny shit.
Right. And what I like, all of that I agree with. And what I like most about Kevin Pollack being Betterow is Kevin Pollack and Betterow seem to have a very similar sense of humor as far as their sarcasm and wit. Like when they're the smartest one in the room, you know what I mean? And they don't make you feel stupid unless you really they reserve the right to make you feel stupid, and they will if you know what I mean. Like Betterow's sharp like that, but he doesn't feel the need to be a dick. But if you're a dick, he's gonna be a dick. You know what I mean?
Right.
Kevin Pollack does that very well. Like you said, A Few Good Men is a great example of that. Just the way he was with Joe, with Demi Moore's character, was just like, okay, man. Whatever you say, lady. Like he just saw right through her. It was funny. But yeah, I see like a similar similar. It's hard to say, like just a similar demeanor in the way that they, you know, just there's just a very similar air about the both of them, where I feel like Kevin Pollak would have a natural.
Yeah.
Just all he has to do is hang out with the guy for fucking 3 hours, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, I got this."
Right. Exactly.
You know,
watch a couple of Young Jerks episodes, and he's good to go.
right. That's it. That's it. One more name for the vote. So far I got Jason Bateman, Matthew Modine, and Aaron Eckhart for Tim Bradle.
Aaron Eckhart actually be a really good pick too.
Yeah, because again, we're thinking about, you know, capturing the like the essence of the person. Like Bradle is a very, very chill, very good-hearted, easygoing guy, but extremely passionate about the First Amendment.
Right.
And will argue his passions until he wears you down. But the rest of the time, he's just easygoing.
As much as my first choice and thought was Matthew Modine, now that I'm hearing Aaron Eckhart, and me being a major Dark Knight fan, I could absolutely see Aaron Eckhart as Bradle. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. John Hamm. And you know, Alec Baldwin too. I could see Alec Baldwin doing it.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn, not so much. Vince Vaughn would be a little bit over the top. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Edward Norton would be good. I think Edward Norton would be good. What do you think? You want to put that on the last one?
Yeah, I think Edward Norton would be able to play that role. I think that's a good pick too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know about John Hamm. I saw that in the chat a lot, but I'm not sure. I think John Hamm's too much John Hamm, and he's just too much his own personality and his own character almost.
Right.
He almost plays John Hamm in every movie as opposed to a character.
All right, the poll is up, and I'm cueing the music.
I voted for Eckhart. I actually went against my original suggestion of Matthew Modine and voted for Eckhart.
Okay. Wow.
He was great in Sully as well. He was really great in that movie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? My first pick took Aaron Eckhart.
Wow.
By a nose, pretty much. So yeah, Jason Bateman at a strong 36%.
Wow, this was the most deadlocked between three different candidates. This is probably the most deadlocked it's been between the top three.
Yeah. All right. So who do you want to do next? So far, we've done TurtleBoy, Karen Reed, Krusty Panties, Bettero, Mello. God, I can't believe we've done that many already.
Let's do a Karen Reed attorney.
And Bradle. Okay, let's do a Karen Reed attorney.
Yeah.
And that'll be fun because we cast some Karen Reed attorneys. We cast them last night, so they won't be the same ones, just to keep this fun.
Let's go with Robert Alessi.
Bob Alessi. Okay.
Bob Alessi, yeah.
All right, let's see some names in the chat for Bob Alessi. No Mark Ruffalo, because we already cast Mark Ruffalo yesterday. Now, my first choice for Bob Alessi yesterday was Crispin Glover, and I'm putting him in there again. What about you? Anything you can think of? Okay, so we're thinking of Bob Alessi here, folks.
What could be more egregious? What could be more misleading than that? And what could be more important?
Who's Bob?
Oh,
yeah, you're back.
Oh, did you hear me? Yeah, I'm thinking Christian Bale. That's my pick. I think if he, he's a
Wow.
great character actor. Someone said yesterday he's too young, but the thing was when he played Dick Cheney, I never saw the movie, but they made him up, to make him look more age relevant to his character. But I think he could hone right in.
Yeah, but the thing is that would be better for the Karen Reed movie, but there's not going to be a whole lot of emphasis on Karen Reed's attorneys in the Turtle Boy movie, and it seems like too big of a name for that role.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But I don't think you're wrong. But for the Turtle Boy movie, that would be directed by Steven Soderbergh.
Yep.
I mean, unless it's a cameo, you know what I mean? Look at these names, bro. This is part of the reason why it's fun, because it almost frustrates me. Because I'm like, what are you people fucking talking about?
Someone said Ralph Macchio.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the one I was looking at. I was like, what are you fucking talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Because some of these folks, bless their hearts, they're just not going to see this the way that we're seeing it. They're just kind of looking at, looks and, you know what I mean? They don't know really the directors that we're talking about. They don't look at movies kind of as deeply as you and I do. You know what I mean? So they just like the movies, and that's cool too. You know what I mean? But they're just going to throw, like Bradley Cooper as Bob Alessi in the Turtle Boy movie. You know what I'm saying? Like, sounds absurd to us, but I get why somebody wants to see that. All right.
Yeah. Oh man.
Tony Goldwyn. Ooh, that's a good one. You know who Tony Goldwyn is, right?
I've heard of the name, but I cannot. I have to go to.
How familiar are you with the movie Ghost? Are you there?
Yeah, sorry about that. It seems like every time I switch off the app, I end up disappearing.
Okay.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie Ghost, but I'm aware. Demi Moore was in it, and Patrick Swayze.
I can see him being a little older, because he's a little older, and I bet he's still in good shape. As long as he's still in good shape,
I can actually picture him playing Alan Jackson. Looking at his pictures here.
I mean, because think about it. Like if we're making like a Soderbergh kind of comedy movie, more or less, what you're gonna do is you're not going to have a whole lot of time spent on Karen Reed's defense team, but they're going to show them sometimes, because you're going to see, if you're going to tell the Turtle Boy story properly in our opinions, right, in our imaginations, it would be, there would be some coalescence between Turtle Boy's investigating and the defense's strategy. You know what I mean? Where they apply some of that stuff, So I imagine seeing a little bit of footage of like the defense team in the war room, kind of taking some of the stuff Turtle Boys discovered, and strategizing it for the trial, right? Just to kind of emphasize how important Turtle Boy's work has been.
Right.
So like you do that and just have them in the war room, just kind of like comedically, but not so funny, not to make it too funny, but just have Bob Alessi like working out while they're
Gary Cole. Someone said, people saying Gary Cole from the Brady Bunch and Office Space.
He like just have Bob Alessi while they're sitting there brainstorming on the fucking the ARCA experts and shit, and what they're going to be talking about, fucking doing yoga. While Alan Jackson, like, what are you doing right there? Like, I could just see something like that happening. But like, so if we think in terms of that, then I could see Crispin Glover doing it. I could see Tony Goldwyn doing it. NPH isn't too bad. I don't know. I'd rather see NPH more as an Alan Jackson, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. Yeah,
I'm not saying that that's my suggestion, but definitely
comedy,
him.
Yeah, Neil Patrick Harris as Alan Jackson works.
Totally, and he could do it so well. Yeah. So we'll do AJ next, but we'll just keep him in mind. Gary Coleman. No, Gary Cole, right? Isn't that what
Gary
somebody?
Cole, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Denise Hoover, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Clive Owen. No. Rami Malek. Rami Malek might be a good Alessi. You know who Rami Malek is, right, Mazza?
Yes, I do. Yeah, he was the last 007 villain. Yeah, with Daniel Craig. Yep, he was on Doctor. What was that show that used to be on USA Network? There, not Doctor Sleep. What's the name of that show? It's about the hackers. Yeah, but I don't know.
Right.
Mr. Robot. That's what it was. Yeah.
So what do you think?
Not for Alessi, no.
No? Okay.
No, not for Alessi. I mean, I think I'm sure if they made him age relevant with makeup, he would be. Yeah, he'd probably knock it down because he's a great actor. Let's face it. He was great in that movie with Denzel Washington.
Yeah, he
and Jared
seems.
Leto.
Even though Alessi looks great for his age, he seems still a little too young to play Alessi. You know?
Yeah. Right.
But even though he could perform, he could pull off the performance. I believe very well.
I think so for sure. I definitely think acting wise, he could pull it off.
For sure.
Yeah.
And this is tough because we've got two names so far, and one of them you haven't even heard of, really. So
yeah, correct. Yep.
Rainn Wilson.
Oh, yeah. He was in The Office. Yeah, he was in The Office, that guy.
Oh, you had to Google him? Okay.
Yeah, I had to Google him.
Let's see it. Let's do this one more time. See what you think.
What could be more egregious? What could be more misleading than that? And what could be more important?
I agree with that.
All right, let's put him in there. Somebody said Tyler Hoechlin from fucking Superman and Lois. Like, what? Actually, I could see that too. He's just too young. But I could actually see that. Now that I pictured it, I'm like, shit. I just watched him in an interview, and I'm like, fuck. You know what? Hold on. What was that one? Rainn Wilson, right?
Yeah, Rainn Wilson.
One more name. I'll let you look over the chat and you decide.
Yeah.
And or if you think of one. But this will be your choice for the final choice here.
I'm seeing a lot of Bryan Cranston, so we may as well go with that because a lot of people are suggesting that. We might as well just defer to the chat here. Bryan Cranston himself.
Now, since you're up here, the buck stops with you as much as it does me.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you don't see it, then I'm not putting it up there. Can you
good.
see it?
Do I see Bryan Cranston?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see him listed a couple times over.
No, I'm saying, can you see Bryan Cranston playing Alessi?
I think he could pull it off.
All right. Then it goes up.
He has a good balance of seriousness and comedy as well.
He
does.
Got
the acting range. Yeah.
Great acting range. And yeah, I think he could absolutely pull off Alessi now that I think about it. I think somebody suggested it last night and I shot it down.
Oh, did you?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But like I'm seeing it though, you know. But I think they might have suggested him for something else, and I was like, no.
Mm.
All right. Now I'm gonna start the music. Here we go. Harold Ramis is dead. Stop it. Oh man, Bryan Cranston is the choice.
I'm voting for him too.
Okay, man. That's it at 47%. 48% actually. That's going to be Bryan Cranston as Bob Alessi. Okay. This is fun because we're picturing two different movies, and this is we're coming up with very different choices for some of these people, some of these characters, which is really cool. I'm really enjoying this actually. So like, all right. So who are we doing next? Are we doing AJ next? Are we gonna get that out of the way?
Yeah, we got Alan Jackson up next. I have a few different candidates for him already.
Oh, okay. Let's hear him, bro.
All right. I got Robert Downey Jr.
We picked him.
We did?
He's out. Yeah, he's AJ in the Karen Reed movie that we did last night. So he's out.
Okay, so he's already out. Okay, so
everyone voted him as everyone voted him as AJ.
Okay. You know, I think actually Leonardo DiCaprio had,
Somebody suggested that somebody suggested that last night, and I vetoed it. But for this movie, I don't know.
Okay.
Like, if
have you seen the movie,
to make a cool cameo, maybe.
Have you seen the movie Don't Look Up on Netflix with Jennifer Lawrence? Yeah. I think that, he has the comedy there. I think Leo could play Alan Jackson even in a comedy type deal.
Okay, let's put NPH. I'm not typing all that in because I'm a big Harold and Kumar fan. That's what I'm doing. So we all know what NPH is. It's Neil Patrick Harris. And now we got, and what did you just say? Who did you just say? I'm having a brain fart.
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yep.
Then I got one more for you too.
Okay.
I'm thinking Matthew McConaughey could pull this off.
I saw that suggested a lot last night too.
Yeah. Because you know what? Even though we call Alan Jackson, a California person, he's really from Texas, and
He's
so
Southern.
is Matthew McConaughey.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. And honestly, I probably should have put that on the choices for last night, and I vetoed it. Because honestly, a lot of it had to do with my mood, and I was just like, I think what was going through my mind, it was just like, God, I mean, Matthew McConaughey is just so fucking obvious, like, come on. I think that was my attitude last night.
Right.
So, and I don't know how to spell Matthew, so McConaughey, so I'm gonna spell.
I can spell it out
Matthew.
for you if you need me to. Should have it listed here.
Okay.
It is MCCON AUGHEY.
AG what? MCC.
Yeah, MCCONA UGHEY.
Yeah, that looks exactly right. All right, one more choice. Now remember, this is most likely going to be cameos. We're just going to see they're like, if we're thinking of a Soderbergh type movie here, like there's going to be just a moment where the Karen Reed defense team is going to be like portrayed for just a few moments as like the dopest people you ever saw in your life while they war room shit.
You know what an interesting suggestion
so
is?
it makes a lot of sense to like cast like huge actors for them as cameos. You know what I mean? Just to make it more interesting, make it a more fun movie, right?
You know what's very interesting is someone, Tina R. just suggested Joshua Jackson. He played Charlie Conway in the Mighty Ducks movies, but he just was recently in. I just saw him in the Karate Kid Legends, and quite
isn't that the kid from Dawson's Creek?
Yeah.
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 He was as AJ. He was just in this. Well, I hadn't seen that one yet, but he was also the main guy in a remake, man. Presumed Innocent, I think it is, on Apple TV. It was a Harrison Ford movie originally, and a book, but they made a Harrison Ford movie in the late 80s. And I think they made a mini series on Apple TV, and he was the main guy. I'm pretty sure. And I remember being impressed and being like, "Oh shit, okay." Let's let the chat pick this last one.
Yeah.
There's Hugh Jackman. I mean, I could see that too. Steve Carell. I mean, I could see that too. John Hamm, could see that. Like as Alan Jackson, I could definitely see John, but yeah. Too John Hammy for whatever we were talking about before.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know about Alan Jackson. He might be good for Alan Jackson. Jim Caviezel for Alan Jackson's not bad either. Yeah, Pacey is Joshua Jackson. That's right. That was his name on Dawson's Creek, Pacey. Even though I never even watched that fucking show.
I never watched it. I knew of it. Everybody used to talk about it in my high school days, but I never watched it.
It was. Everybody would talk about it, and that's the only reason I know anybody's name.
Right.
Nick Cage as Alan Jackson. That might, dude, man. Nick Cage as Alan Jackson. I could see him being able to pull that shit off, like in a comedic fucking getting himself hyped up, because Alan Jackson does that shit. If you make a caricature version of Alan Jackson in a fucking cameo role, like in a cameo status of this movie, of a Steven Soderbergh style movie, I could see Nick Cage Nick Cage being a totally exaggerated version of Alan Jackson, looking in the mirror and being like, "Woo, you're the baddest fucking lawyer ever." You know what I mean? I could totally see him doing that.
Yeah.
And just for the fucking sake of fucking being you know what I mean? The audience watching this movie being like, yes. Tell me if you didn't see some exaggerated Nick Cage version of Alan Jackson, you wouldn't fucking cheer. Dude. That would be fucking wonderful.
Oh man. He was great in the movie Kick-Ass. Even though he was only in it so much. I loved him in Kick-Ass. Oh, he was great.
Yeah. Did you see that new horror movie that just came out not too long ago? That he was in,
that vampire movie?
It wasn't a vampire movie. It was this fucking crazy weird movie where I remember watching it. If you didn't see it, you're not gonna know what the fuck I'm talking about.
No.
But there's this FBI agent. She's a girl and she's trying to solve these murders, and it's always
long legs.
Long legs. That's it.
I went to Google on that. I'm pretty proficient
Did you
in Google. So,
dude, his character in that movie is fucking really spooky.
Really?
He does really good. I mean, horror movies don't scare me anymore, but I could see if I was a little kid and I saw that movie, he would have scared the shit out of me. Yeah. But it was really exaggerated. Nobody's like that. To me, I'm watching this movie and I'm just like, this guy works in a store and it's open. People go in there and buy stuff from this guy. That makes no sense. Google the guy. Google his image. Google Nick Cage and long legs and look at his fucking here. I'll do it.
God.
Right. And then he had a store and there were customers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
jeez.
Okay,
that's really a bit much right there. Jeez.
That's not somebody who I'm buying fucking feed from for my fucking animals and shit, bro. You know what I mean? Look at this. That's not, dude. That's not.
Jeez. Oh my goodness.
But he was great. He was great in it. He was really scary,
Just look at the way he's made up. That's scary enough, even without the persona behind it.
All right, I'm gonna put Nick Cage on that final one, dude. Just because I could see that happening. All right, so the poll is up. Time for the music.
My vote is in for Matthew McConaughey.
All right.
All right.
All right. Yeah, Rob Lowe would have been a good choice too.
Yeah.
Now remember, none of these are of any consequence. We're just having fun here. This is not We have no influence over any of this actually happening. This is just us having fun. Lindsay G, thank you. Who needs horror movies when you're an adult? We have real stuff to terrify us. The IRS, the mole on your back, in-laws. True. Thank you. All right. So, I need to close the poll. Matthew McConaughey takes it by 63%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a landslide. Wow. Nick Cage only got 11%.
Yeah.
Now, Matthew McConaughey could absolutely do this in a very comedic fashion too. Look at his role in, like, if you do it in a sense, if you put Matthew McConaughey and think his character in Wolf of Wall Street,
right,
you've got exactly what I've got in mind for the TurtleBoy movie and Karen Reed's defense team. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Some guy with cancer. Not voting for Cage will make my cancer worse. I hope you're all happy. Thank you, some guy with cancer. Exactly. Okay. And people just don't. He's some guy with cancer. Don't do that to him. They don't like your dark comedy, some guy with cancer. Jesus Christ. Okay.
All right. Well, I'm going to roll, man.
All right, dude.
Thanks for having me on. I'm going to be tuning in still. I'll probably be in the chat a little bit making suggestions. But thanks for having me on, bro. We'll catch up soon. I think.
Thanks for joining. You were extremely helpful with this. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Happy 4th to everybody. And I used to say free Karen Reed at the end of the show, every show, but I'll say free TurtleBoy at the end of this show. So
I haven't communicated with you. I've been terrible about it. Do you want to do Point Break tomorrow?
I should be available in the evening.
Like, I'm thinking like 5 or 6, preferably 5, just because we're going to be pausing it and talking. And then after that, people will just shuffle over to the Alan Jackson interview on TurtleBoy.
Yeah, that works for me. 5 o'clock tomorrow. You got it.
All right, people. Mazza Media and me, we're going to destroy Point Break on Patreon tomorrow. I'm going to pin the link to the chat. Join Patreon, and me and Mazza are going to have a fucking blast with you guys.
Sounds good.
Mazza, thanks,
Adios,
buddy.
amigo.
All right. Bye-bye. Fucking love that guy. Mazza Media, everybody. All right. We still got a little time because I still have some energy drink left. So we still got a little time. So who should we do next? Let's do Grant Smith Ellis. We got to do Grant. That's because this is going to be a tough one. Grant is going to be tough, people. Yes, the original Point Break. So what I do, for you guys who don't know, on my Patreon, what I do is I destroy movies, your favorite movies. I roast them. Movies that are beloved, generally. Everyone loves them. Cult classics. But I'm going to ruin them for the people who actually think that they're good movies, because just because we love them doesn't make them good movies. And I'm going to show with Mazza why Point Break is not a good movie, but so much fun. And I'm really looking forward to that. So yeah, me and Mazza are doing Point Break. It's going to be a perfect afternoon. And so I hope everyone donated to Turtle Boy's Defense Fund. Now I'm going to take over the grift. I'm taking over the grift. And I am posting it and pinning it. All right. No. Hold on. Set this up. All right. See, I feel like people are going with John C. Reilly because because of his hair and because of he looks a lot like him in his Dr. Brule character. I don't want him to, I don't want people to look at Grant and think Dr. Brule. I want people to look at whoever's playing Grant and see Grant. You know what I'm saying? Like, Grant is like no one. This is why this is going to be interesting and fun, because this is going to be one of the most difficult ones to cast, if not the most difficult one, because there's nobody like Grant. There's nobody on the planet that exists like Grant. And Grant is a complicated character. Like, it takes a fucking method actor to play Grant. It's going to take a method actor to properly pull off Grant. And it has to be perfect. I will not settle for, yeah. Johnny Galecki, I could see that. Hugh Grant, no, he's too old. Matthew Lillard, I could see that. I could see him being able to do it. Because most likely, whoever is going to play him is going to have to put on hair and makeup. You know what I mean? Like, it's we're not going for looks here. We're going for somebody who can channel Grant Smith Ellis, and it's going to seem natural to do it. Not John Heder, no. Adrian Brody, maybe. He's a talented enough actor. John Goodman is Grant Smith Ellis. See, no. Daniel Day-Lewis is retired. He's not doing movies anymore. Not possible. Will Ferrell, no. Seth Rogen, the Borat guy, that would be Sacha Baron Cohen. I could absolutely see him doing Grant and doing it very well. So Sacha Baron Cohen is already on the ballot. So you don't need to keep saying them. I think Jim Carrey's retired now too. Shia LaBeouf, no. Too intense. Jeff Daniels, too old. Too fat. No offense to him. Jon Favreau, no. Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I like, but I don't think that he has the acting chops to do Grant. I don't think that he would seem convincing in trying to play Grant. It has to be someone who would convince you that they are Grant Smith Ellis. This cannot be compromised. He's too interesting of a character. I'm gonna have to agree. Jesse Eisenberg is going on the ballot. He could do it. Okay. Pete Davidson, I don't think has the acting chops to play Grant either. Again, it has to be somebody who is a method actor, man, someone who is gonna almost have to convince themselves that they're Grant. That's the only way to play Grant. You need that kind of actor. Rainn Wilson, I think, is a little too old. Franco? I don't know. Austin Butler? No. Okay, Peter Sarsgaard. Which of the Sarsgaard brothers is he? Because there's like 4 of them. Yeah, Franco's not a great actor. I mean, not that kind of actor. Like, I like Franco in pretty much everything I've seen him in. He's just not that kind of actor. Just like Keanu's not that kind of actor, but I love Keanu and everything he's in. Eric Bana as fuck. Come on. As Grant, please. Paul Rubens is dead. Gary Oldman's too old. I feel like a lot of you are forgetting how old you are. Like, you forgot that the movies that you like are fucking like 30 years old, bro. Like, that's what I think is happening, is you guys are just forgetting. I'm putting Rami Malek on the list. I think Rami Malek could play Grant too. But loosely, I'm not crazy about this choice. I'm not crazy about it. But he's going on it just because I'm running out of patience for trying to get people on this, trying to get people on the ballot. Kieran Culkin. I'd like to see Kieran Culkin do something a little bit more. Well, actually, nope. I'm putting him on there. I think he could do it. And I know I'm spelling his name wrong. I don't care. All right. So the poll is up for Grant Smith Ellis. And the music is starting now. All right. So it's Sacha Baron Cohen by a landslide, pretty much. Yeah, Sacha Baron Cohen playing Grant would be fucking wonderful. I agree. That wasn't as hard as I thought it would be, though. That really wasn't. But Kieran Culkin, that was an interesting choice. Because I haven't seen him play a role like that. I could just see him do it, you know? Nobody's seen anybody play a role like Grant Smith Ellis. That's the whole point. There's nobody on the planet like him. John C. Reilly is not a spitting image of him. He's not. Like, you guys keep saying that just because they have the same hair. And they both wear glasses. That's not. They don't even act like each other. Like Dr. Steve Brule doesn't even act like him. And like, he doesn't have that. Like, I just don't see him. It's too exaggerated. Like John C. Like that character where he's like, oh, all awkward and shit. That's really exaggerated. It's going to be way too exaggerated for this kind of comedy. You know what I mean? That's for Tim and Eric. You know, Tim and Eric is outrageously stupid. That's the whole shtick behind it. is that it's fucking insanely stupid. And exactly, he's way too old too. I mean, who didn't we cover that should be like pivotal in this whole thing? I mean, we cast a lot of people. We cast like 7 or 8 people. Yeah, I thought about Meredith too, Mazza. But Meredith is, I don't think Meredith is going to be difficult to cast because Meredith has a very, she has a very, you know, a very pretty but common look that any Hollywood actress could pretty much capture, you know. Reese Witherspoon comes to mind. So who would have like the best dynamic with Renner? Right? Like Jeremy Renner as TurtleBoy, who would have the best dynamic as his love interest? You know, who would be like if we're casting Meredith, who would be the most that you could see having a great dynamic with Jeremy Renner playing TurtleBoy? Margot Robbie could do it. Margot Robbie, you could just stick her in anything. You know what I mean? Like you could just put her in anything. But yeah, Margot Robbie would be a good choice. Kristen Bell is a good choice too. Kristen Bell is a great choice. So who did we say here? We'll close off with Meredith, with casting Meredith. So who did we say? We said Reese Witherspoon. She might be too old too, but as long as she looks young enough. Who else did we say? Kristen Bell. Okay. Who else? Oh, we said Margot Robbie. Somebody said Gianna Michaels. Stop it. Kristen Bell's married to Dax Shepard, I think. They've been married a long time. Blake Lively, Lisa Lohan. Oh, Amanda Seyfried. I could see that. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Dude, I just watched her in the worst fucking movie I ever saw in my fucking life, dude. Once Upon or A Million Ways to Die in the West. God, what a pile of shit that movie was. That shit was terrible. It's like shit was kind of funny a little bit here and there, but like I've laughed way harder consistently at almost every other fucking Family Guy episode, you know? I need one more name. No, actually, I need two more names. Well, one more name. I'm going to just put that here. Sarah Michelle Gellar? No. Kate Hudson. We cast Dakota Fanning yesterday as in the Karen Reed movie as Eliza Little. That's who everybody picked for Eliza Little was Dakota Fanning. You guys are killing me right now. I have to Google half these names. Okay. I mean, she looks just like Margot Robbie. But I could see her doing it. I mean, okay. We'll put that on there. All right, poll's going up for Meredith. All right. So it is Kristen Bell by a nose. She just beat out Reese Witherspoon. So it would be Kristen Bell as Meredith opposite Jeremy Renner as TurtleBoy. Fascinating. Okay. All right. Now, what that means now, folks, is I'm hungry and I'm tired and I'm going to fucking bed. I'm going to go cuddle with my dog. 'Cause I'm tired. Now, we got to cast the McAlberts, bro, for the TurtleBoy story. We got to cast the McAlberts. So we'll continue this probably tomorrow. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not tomorrow. Because tomorrow, remember, I got the link pinned to the top of the chat, folks. Pinned to the top of the chat is my Patreon link. And what you're going to want to do is you want to subscribe to my Patreon. I think the lowest tier is like $5. And once a week, I review movies. I review some of your favorite movies. And I basically roast them, tear them apart. And tomorrow will be my first guest. Tomorrow's going to be my first guest ever. I've already done Top Gun in The Notebook. It's going to be my third episode, and my first guest is going to be Mazza Media, and we are going to roast the shit out of Point Break. Okay? Because we both probably have this movie memorized by now, and this is just going to be fucking fun. All right? So if you guys want to have a good time and you guys are trying to figure out a way to kill time because you're so anxious to watch Alan Jackson get interviewed by Dr. TurtleBoy, you guys are so fucking, you're like, I don't know what to fucking do with myself because this shit's fucking like 3-4 hours away. You can log on to my Patreon. I'm going to share the link in the Patreon sometime in the afternoon. And when I do, you're going to click on that link and it's going to take you over to me and Mazza wrecking Point Break. Okay? And that's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern. So I will have the link up by once you subscribe to Patreon. I will post the link to the Patreon community post as a Patreon community post, and you click on that, and it will take you right to Point Break being reviewed by Mazza and me. And I will have that link up probably about 4 o'clock, 4 o'clock, somewhere between 3 and 4 o'clock, most likely. And 5 o'clock is showtime. Okay? So you guys are absolutely amazing. Thank you guys for everything. Make sure to hit the like on your way out. This is fun. I like doing interactive shit with you guys. Like we did this together. We cast the TurtleBoy movie together. It was fun. We're not done yet. Give us something to talk about. I mean, we got plenty of time to talk about it before it's even written. So yeah, man. But guys, you guys are absolutely fantastic. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Make sure to hit the like if you haven't already. Make sure to subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and if you are subscribed, make sure to hit the notification bell if you haven't done that already. Make sure to do that because it will allow you to know in advance when I'm going live. And all the support, guys, I really appreciate it. Thank you guys for that. And a happy 4th. Happy birthday, America. Very, very proud to be an American. And I'm really glad that even though I didn't get to do kind of stuff I normally like to do on 4th of July, I got to do my second favorite thing, which is normally my first favorite thing, and that is hang out with you guys. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys very much, and we will do this again very soon, my friends.